tax money than use Bitcoin.
I don't think it is. And the reason is because the news will never report the number of Bitcoin wallets as 10,000 people have declared that they want to be free of government.
I mean, that's
wars.
because of HD wallets and the fact that, for all we know, one person is controlling 99% of all the Bitcoin wallet addresses out there. We have no way of proving otherwise.
It's true. And
so all we know is, there are 30 billion Bitcoin addresses or however many that currently have some amount of Bitcoin.
Yeah, and so that's why I would use a
But it doesn't matter
coin.
if the news covers it or not. If people are getting into cryptocurrency as a way of not paying taxes and as a way of not paying for bombs, the result isn't. The goal isn't to get the news to talk about it. The goal is to get fewer bombs dropped.
Well, yeah, and that's the other effect that you're going to have, because if you're trading in any of the cryptocurrencies, then there's a lot less money going to government, and there's less demand for the dollar. Anytime you buy a cryptocurrency, you're shorting the dollar. And the more people, the more people who decide that they want to hold Bitcoin and not or Peacecoin or any of these coins and not dollars, as that happens, that could cause hyperinflation in and of itself, even without the government continuing to print more money.
I mean, that's the goal, though.
Yeah,
that's the whole reason that the Reformed Satanic Church is part of cryptocurrency, is to undermine the state and to defang it, to take away its ability to buy bombs, because that's aggression and that's immoral, and the Reformed Satanic Church does not support that kind of behavior. So, I mean, that's sort of the whole idea behind cryptocurrency at large, is to prohibit the state from doing the horrible things that the state does.
That's always been important to me, but there's never been a crypto that explicitly said it.
Satoshi said it in the early newsletters for Bitcoin.
Well,
so I mean, like, the original cryptocurrency said it.
Okay, one of the authors said it, but it was not something
the person who created
there was no credo attached to Bitcoin. There's no.
Sure, there was. It was in the early newsletters written by Satoshi Nakamoto.
Okay, that doesn't quite qualify the way I'm thinking. I
don't know why not. He was the person who created Bitcoin.
Huh?
He was the person who created Bitcoin. He stated his motives very clearly in the early newsletters as being against the banking system and against being the aggressions of the state.
Well,
and being against.
I have never known there to be anything directly attached to Bitcoin which says the users of this coin say blah blah blah. Okay, and that is the point, to make explicit what is implicit. And to use that.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though, is it was explicit in Satoshi Nakamoto's early newsletters.
Okay, well, that's not the way the media is reporting it. So,
but again, what the media says about it is irrelevant. The point isn't to get media coverage,
because what the media says about it influences what people hear about it, doesn't it? Okay.
Not if we're out there countering it. I mean, the media is never going to be a fan of cryptocurrency.
Rather than countering media spin.
Do you really think the media is going to be like, hey, look, wow, these 50,000 people don't want the war machine to continue?
I think that's a message that's a lot more likely to get out than the message which they deliver about the message that they deliver at Bitcoin is this many people want to buy stuff on the dark web, which obviously Bitcoin's used for a lot more things than that, but that's what they want to accentuate. And so I think it would be a lot harder to cover something like this up, because it doesn't have the initial. But I also believe that there should be 10,000 coins out there.
I suspect if your Peace Coin got any traction, then they'd be painting you as just as bad person as Chelsea Manning or Julian Assange or anybody else.
I'm sure they would. But, you know, I don't know.
I must stick with
it's
Bitcoin
good to make it hard for
Peace
them.
Coin. ERC20 tokens. I hear they're pretty easy to start one.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
And Bitcoin Cash tokens are even easier.
There we go.
And the other thing is, I think there are a lot of people who would appreciate, although most of them probably aren't ANCAPs, but the mutual aid aspect of the coin as well, where some people like to have something where it's like, okay, if I lose my job, something will still be coming in because I'm paying into a system. I think that's something that that most people would like. And the nice thing about this is it's voluntary, and it's also uncorruptible in that.
Well, when we get back, we're going to talk about how if you're freaking out about the coronavirus, as it seems a lot of people are, you can buy your hand sanitizer or whatever it is that you want to use to protect yourself with Bitcoin. And we're going to tell you how you can do that. 855-450-3733.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app, and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556, or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces, even within an IRA. 800-525-9556, ICAGoldSilver.com.
I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android in the App Store or at edge.app.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer-term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And Gray.
And nobody.
And we've been talking about cryptocurrency, which is, of course, one way of securing your retirement. But if you don't want to get involved in cryptocurrency for some reason, and you're not sure that you're going to have a great retirement, well, Tom Young, the author and founder of the CFO Project, can show you how to be debt-free in 9 years or less, including your mortgage, without spending a single dollar more. And with the current state of the federal debt at $23 trillion and the unfunded liabilities at $127 trillion, you can't wait to take control of your money. So go check out Tom's new book, The Family Money Farm, the CFO Project, because it will show you exactly how to build wealth and eliminate debt. You can find it for free at cfo-project.com. Again, that's cfo-project.com. It's a free book. There's not much reason to not check it out. So the coronavirus is like 70% of the news stories that I've even found worth talking about in the last week or so. Evidently, however, in addition to people just freaking out in general and canceling events all over the place, and governments in the United States banning people from meeting in crowds of more than 250, as though they don't have a constitutionally protected right to meet in whatever numbers they want.
Is that happening now?
Yes.
And has any groups actually been disbanded yet?
I don't remember now. I only saw it. I didn't even put the article in show prep or anything like that.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me.
But yeah, some mayor somewhere, decreed that 250 was the maximum crowd you could have.
So again, some person,
some bureaucrat,
yeah, right,
drunk on power,
yep, who's funded with money that was stolen from people, is telling other people what to do. Go figure.
Yeah, but if you're afraid and you want to stock up on stuff, you can evidently do that with Bitcoin.
Yeah, as far as the article goes, did you want me to read the article?
Yeah.
All right, I'd be happy to. It's been a bit for me, so. How to buy your coronavirus supplies with Bitcoin. This comes from Decrypt, so it's decrypt.co. With supermarkets rationing key products to curb panic buying in the face of coronavirus, we wondered, can you stock up using Bitcoin? Yes, you can. As the coronavirus sweeps the world, countries are resorting to drastic measures to halt its spread. China and Italy have imposed lockdown. Those showing symptoms are being encouraged to self-isolate, and supermarkets are facing shortages as shoppers ignore government advice. No, don't ever ignore government advice. You're not supposed to do that. Not to panic buy. Government advice not to panic buy. Fortunately, there are plenty of other places to stock up on essential supplies using your hard-earned Bitcoin.
That is classic government telling people who are panicking not to panic.
Yeah.
I've seen lots of good
and telling
memes.
people exactly what not to panic by, where the rational thing to do when you hear the government saying, don't panic by this, is to make sure you have some of it. Because apparently it's about to disappear from stores. If it wasn't before the government announcement, it will after.
So in supermarkets across the globe, the shelves have been emptied of toilet paper.
Were you laughing about how the image is sourced from Newegg?
Well,
because that's what got my attention and made me laugh.
A combination of all of it, and then just this, it never fails.
Toilet paper is such a weird purchase for dealing with a flu pandemic.
Well, it's about comfort. if you,
Well, if it was about comfort, people would be buying sanitary wipes.
Well, that is a good way to look at it.
And bidets.
Yeah. Well, if there's no power, you're going to have to find some way to run that bidet.
Not this one-ply cardboard paper, toilet paper that they used from Newegg here. Newegg sells toilet paper?
I think Newegg sells anything that they can buy and resell. And if you have that sort of buying power. I always consider them
to be just a computer parts supply.
For years, I used Newegg when I ran a computer store to source parts because it was just cheaper. And
they take Bitcoin.
And they do. And then Amazon, I've realized one day they sold stuff, not just books. So, yeah, I guess if you have enough buying power, it behooves you to sell anything you can make a nickel on.
I suppose.
Well, even if you don't have much buying power, it behooves you to sell anything you can make a nickel on.
So I think I'm rereading this, but we'll do it anyways. In supermarkets across the globe, the shelves have been emptied of toilet paper. Retailers in the U.S., Canada, and UK have had to limit purchases. Fortunately, Newegg has your back with this 24-pack of its finest 2-ply. Each roll has 573 feet long, giving you a generous 13,000 feet of paper to work with. Crypto fans can pay in Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash.
Everything about that just perplexes me.
Well, I like the idea.
Now, this is the sort of toilet paper you'd expect to find in a gas station restroom.
I think that's probably 1-ply. This is at least 2-ply.
Okay.
If I had to guess. They did mention 2-ply, and the last cheap roll I looked at was at a local place where they buy stuff off trucks that have been crashed or whatever, and it was 65 cents for a roll of 1-ply. But 1-ply is better than no-ply. At least what I think. So
you are technically correct. Yes.
Well, you just it's more ply if you just sort of wrap it around your hand a couple more times. Don't press so hard. Have a good diet, and there won't be much wiping.
Moving on, please.
Face masks are essential for medical personnel as they battle the coronavirus, but that hasn't stopped the public stocking up, even as health officials pled with them not to purchase them. With supplies running short in East Asia, one enterprising business owner recently used Bitcoin to purchase a bulk order of face masks from Russian medical wholesale supplier Phoenix Group, paying in Bitcoin. The transaction took 30 minutes, with a transfer fee of just $10. In addition to challenging logistic issues, organizations and institutions occupied in face mask encounter the challenge of international money transfers. Bitcoin is to break the deadlock once again, the company said in a statement.
That's very cool. I don't know how effective face masks are in preventing one from being sick. I've heard they're not effective at all.
Yeah, well, the last release I saw from the government said they aren't effective against coronavirus, and besides, it was essential that they be saved for medical personnel. So I didn't know how to reconcile those two statements, because it seems like it's not useful to save ineffective remedies for medical personnel.
Well, I think the issue with medical personnel and the reason they wear a face mask is because of them breathing out, not because of the risk of them breathing something in.
Well, it depends. Certainly that's true in the case of surgeons.
Yeah.
But, last time I went to the doctor, everybody was wearing face masks.
You'll like
the
this
receptionists, everybody.
Yeah, I see the headline for the next one.
This next part about sanitizer. I've seen you railing against that. Hand sanitizer in a particularly short supply at the moment, with UK supermarkets forced to ration supplies. In the U.S., New York State is making its own supplies to meet demand.
I mean, they're not forced to ration them. They could just raise the price and let the market sort itself out.
I mean, that's what I do when I have something in short supply.
Make it easier to order more, since wholesale supplies are surely rising too.
Yeah, demand increases. Supply decreases, raise prices. Solve the problem. 855-450-3733.
Ike was such a sweet, lovable animal, and people would want to pet him, and they'd come up and they'd get close to him, and it would be this instant, oh! My dad didn't want to touch him. It's like, ooh, get the stinky dog away from me.
Even after we'd give her a bath, she would still stink.
Very stinky, both bad breath and bad gas. I asked the vet, and he said some dogs are just stinky.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa, the digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
The ingredients convinced me that it was definitely worth trying. After about a week, he started smelling normal. My husband and I were really kind of astonished.
Dinovite is nutrition.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with AgristHosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in to talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And Gray.
And nobody.
And the next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to spend, earn, store, and exchange digital money in seconds. Divvy says that you'll be able to send money around the globe in only a swipe and instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. But there's no need to wait, as Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with their multi-tiered masternodes that allows anyone to earn by supporting the Divvy network. When the new wallet launches, because of Divi's relationship with Western Union, Divi will be in more than 200 countries, including the United States. You can learn more at diviproject.org. That's DIVI project.org. So getting back to people freaking out and buying hand sanitizer for some totally unknown reason. The last time I went to the DMV here in Keene, there was this guy sitting next to me because they kept a bottle of hand sanitizer there on the counter. He stood up just every 2 or 3 minutes and put more hand sanitizer on his hands. I don't think people understand the entire point of hand sanitizer.
I don't have any idea. I just figure I'd slap a little on after I've been doing something I'd otherwise not have time to wash my hands for.
If you don't have time to wash your hands, it's acceptable, but it's like just using mouthwash because you don't have time to brush your teeth, right? Oh. It's not nearly as effective.
It's a good idea to brush your teeth every now and then.
It takes 30 seconds of washing your hands vigorously and scrubbing them vigorously using antibacterial soap to bring down the bacteria to an acceptable level. Hand sanitizer dries in seconds. It isn't on your hands anywhere near long enough to kill all the germs.
Mostly alcohol-based, right?
Yeah, and it dries out very, very quickly. The whole point of hand sanitizer is to use it after washing your hands to kill any remnants that were still there. It's not meant to be a hand-washing substitute, but people are doing that. They are buying this hand sanitizer and using it obsessively instead of washing their hands. And it's exacerbating the problem. Just wash your hands, people. It's not hard.
Well, we'll continue with the article. Hand sanitizer in particular shortage. Hand sanitizer is in particularly short supply at the moment. The UK supermarkets forced ration supplies. In the U.S., New York State making its own supplies to meet demand. I think I already read that part. So it's important, though. While hand sanitizer is out of stock everywhere, you could try to make your own by mixing isopropyl alcohol and aloe vera gel, both of which can be from Overstock.com. Overstock accepts Bitcoin for both domestic and U.S. international orders.
Have we reached that point of hysteria, though, where people need to use Bitcoin to buy aloe vera gel and alcohol to make their own hand sanitizer?
The person writing this article took enough time to think so. So maybe.
That's scary.
Have you tried to buy those things
because
with dollars?
It's not the coronavirus that scares me. It's what stupid, panicky, hysterical people will do because of their fear of the coronavirus.
Yeah,
well,
fear sells.
For one thing, fear of shortages is not the same thing as fear of a virus. One can be utterly convinced.
Yes, but what if they buy up all the food?
Well, exactly. That's the rational thought, which means, guess what? If you've got some money in your pocket, you just became a panic buyer, having bought that. So there are it is rational when you know that your neighbors are buying the market out. It is natural to go get some yourself. Even if you think the virus is nothing, you might start making hand sanitizer if
I know, but that
all
only
your
reinforces
friends are going
my point.
crazy for hand sanitizer because you want to make money.
That's literally my point. It's not the virus that people need to be concerned of. It's what these stupid panicking people are going to do that people need to be concerned about.
Okay. Oh, I guess the other thing is that means that you can't necessarily condemn the people who are making the hand sanitizer because they may be doing it for perfectly rational reasons. Like, I want to make money and there's an entrepreneurial opportunity here.
I doubt that's what's going on. If they wanted to make money, they would just sell the Bitcoin. It's got to be more lucrative than selling hand sanitizer.
Not if the price not if hand sanitizer is in a bubble.
Hand
Bitcoin
sanitizer
isn't bubbling right now.
We're on a hand sanitizer standard now.
Hey, funny. Under the part about sanitizer that was mentioning what you were talking about using a bar of soap. Here's a snip. What looks like an image captured from the World Health Organization. So some government agency, I think. So, of course, it's going to be true. It says, never underestimate the power of humble bar of soap. Washing your hands regularly, either with alcohol-based or ordinary soap and water, is one of the most effective ways to protect yourself and others from the COVID-19 and many other diseases.
Yeah, I have to agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yep, so continuing on the article, we're still talking about soap.
Well, let's get back to washing your hands here. According to the World Health Organization and people who work in industries where it is important that they wash their hands, as I pointed out in the Keen Telegram chat, I am ServSafe certified, so I had to actually study this crap and learn it and how all of it works. You should wash your hands
You've got
after...
your hand washing certificate done?
More or less, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a standard that...
Is that a 2-year or 4-year?
It's tragic that such a thing is even necessary. It is. You have to tell people...
Are you saying it is necessary?
Yes, it's absolutely necessary. You have to tell people that they should wash their hands after sneezing. Even if they sneeze into a Kleenex, you still have to wash your hands. That Kleenex isn't protecting your hands from the germs. It's just protecting your hands from the snot. You morons. Germs don't care about a scrappy little piece of paper between your hand and them. And then they immediately go and they, touch someone, shake their hand or something. That person is up scratching their eye and bam, they're infected. All of it could have been prevented by one person washing their hands after sneezing or coughing. Come on.
Nasty talking monkeys we've become.
Yeah.
Well, there's always a threshold for things, and people vary. Some people are severe germaphobes, and would have us, washing our hands like we had ODD, not ODD, but OCD. Washing our hands 60 times a day, and other people are at the opposite end of the spectrum, and most people, I think, are somewhere in between that.
Can we talk about the fact here that the last bullet on this wash your hands list is after handling animal waste?
Yep.
Who has to be told that?
Somebody, because it's on this meme here.
Someone out there, probably half of Americans have to be told that, hey, after you scoop your litter box, you should probably wash your hands.
Yeah, that stuff's pretty wicked and nasty. It's dusty, it gets in your hair. And
that's the kind of thing that scares me, not the coronavirus. It's the people who empty out their cat litter and then don't wash their hands.
I think anybody that needs to be told to wash, maybe this virus is for you.
Well, maybe, although I'll note that apparently a sufficient number of people have been washing their hands just fine in order to in order to not have a plague of things up till now. So I think the real lesson to learn from the coronavirus is not wash your hands more. It's don't have a commie government with bioweapons facilities manufacturing plagues.
Probably with money they stole.
That's a really important part of hygiene that we need to learn about here is governmental hygiene. We don't want to take your government away from you. We just want to have some common sense government control.
Well, there's Lyme disease, which a fair bit of admittedly circumstantial evidence suggests that it was created by the American government.
Yeah.
On I think, Plum Island.
See, I was thinking if I get the coronavirus, I'll try to hook up with a girl who has Lyme disease.
Yeah, there you go. 855-450-FREE.
Jake was in big trouble with the IRS. He owed how much?
$92,000.
Ouch. And the IRS left no room for Jake to breathe.
They put a lien on my house, took all the money out of my bank account, took money out of my paychecks. So it was a nightmare.
He needed help fast.
I figured that all these companies were the same until I called Tax Management. You could just tell they knew what they were talking about. Right then and there, I felt like I had some hope.
Stop the liens, levies, and garnishments fast and qualify for one of several special IRS programs that could reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. So, how'd it go for Jake?
They did what they said they would do. They came through for me. I ended up saving an unbelievable amount. I was so jazzed. I was extremely happy.
If you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes, take Jake's advice.
Give Federal Tax Management a phone call. If they help me, they can help anybody.
Call the Federal Tax Management Hotline now. 800-503-8625. 800-503-8625. 800-503-8625.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joel Wallach, the Dead Doctors Don't Lie guy. There's no reason why you shouldn't live to be at least 100 and have a great time getting there. and I'm going to give you a free copy of my lecture that tells you exactly how to do it. In fact, after you've lived a long and healthy life, there should be only 2 documents in your medical chart, a birth certificate and a death certificate. I'm Dr. Wallach with a warning. If you have a 4-inch medical chart, if you take prescription drugs for high cholesterol, high blood pressure, arthritis, joint pains, and other health issues, the medical profession is failing you. They're using you for an ATM machine. My free lecture is going to reveal what pharmaceutical companies don't want you to know. There's been groundbreaking research and discoveries on how to effectively treat or eliminate over 900 different diseases naturally, and it's all in my free lecture called Deadly Recipe. So call toll-free 1-855-79-YOUNG. Again, that's toll-free 1-855-79-YOUNG. 1-855-79-YOUNG.
Scientology minister Frank D. Linehan was arrested this morning on 471 charges of molesting thetans. The popular 56-year-old minister was reportedly taken into custody after an investigation revealed this week that he sexually abused dozens of thetans in the past year, with many of the ancient alien spirits being as young as 65 million years old.
Church members left these thetans alone with someone they trusted, and Mr. Linehan clearly violated that trust.
According to police reports, the abuse continued as recently as last week when Linehan forced a 70-million-year-old alien spirit to perform oral sex during a level OT2 solo auditing session. Since the allegations against Linehan surfaced, more and more church members have come forward about thetan abuse. Despite the church's efforts to recover from the incident, the scandal may alienate a whole generation of Scientologists.
I don't see how they can expect anyone to continue moving up the bridge to total freedom and achieve clear after this.
This is the Onion News Network.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And Gray.
And nobody.
And we're talking about Bitcoin, and in particular, ways in which one can buy stuff with Bitcoin. I would find that to be a much more useful article, because you can buy all sorts of stuff with Bitcoin and with Bitcoin Cash. I didn't even know until recently that Newegg accepts Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. I was shocked to discover this because I was just looking around for parts, considering the idea of probably replacing my PC because it kept crashing and it was like one of 6 things that was going to be the problem, and it was just time to replace it.
I think they've been taking Bitcoin for a long time.
They have,
they
but
stopped
I had
for a bit.
no
I don't
idea.
know.
And I never knew that Valve, through Steam, accepted Bitcoin briefly. They no longer do, but during some period, you could buy video games directly from Steam with Bitcoin, and I never knew anything about it.
Yeah, these companies are full of smart people, and there's no reason why the smart people wouldn't say, hey, let's use the smart currency that, there's no sort of delay in getting our money, and they just have to figure out the ups and downs. But if they hold long enough, hey, so far it's paying out for the holders.
Maybe the next Steam will offer a cryptocurrency. So instead of buying its service, You basically buy its service with its own coin, the way the Steam website did.
Well, they do sort of have that. They do have, I don't know what they call them anymore, but it is a sort of Steam wallet that you can fund, generally with fiat currency since they no longer take Bitcoin. But I hate that kind of thing anyway. I don't like proprietary currencies because that's how, in the end, you end up with like company stores and people living a life where they're constantly in debt to the company that pays them in a currency that only that company takes.
Yeah, that's like the old company store. What they call that in like coal towns.
That's my issue with like
Yeah.
Amazon being like, hey, we're going to create our own cryptocurrency. Yeah, because we've seen how this plays out. Amazon pays its employees in Amazon's cryptocurrency. They can only buy from Amazon, and it just snowballs.
Yeah. Well, that's why you have exchanges now, though. So if they're playing on an Amazon cryptocurrency and that crypto is traded on an exchange, then you can trade it for your favorite currency, whatever it is.
Hopefully, but who's to say that Amazon would allow someone to spend their cryptocurrency at the Amazon store if it wasn't from an Amazon employee? I mean, that's the issue with
Amazon
with decentralized
always allows
currencies.
people to buy stuff from them for money.
With USD, perhaps. But why would they allow someone who isn't employed by them to pay them in the Amazon cryptocurrency?
Because they would profit from the float. The more people who use it,
but they would profit
the better.
infinitely more by turning all of their employees into effective slaves who can't get out from underneath Amazon.
I will never hire you as a manager. You really think that's the most effective and profitable way to do business?
Yes, to not pay your employees?
Talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's crazy talk. Make your employees hate you. Guess what they're going to do? Especially in that business where you're moving goods, they're going to jack you. They're going to take everything you own if they
because we saw a lot of that during the 19th century in the rise of company stores. We definitely saw a bunch of coal miners just running off with the coal that they were mining from people who effectively owned them.
What we saw is riots. We saw a lot of things. That's not
after time.
That's not profitable. Those had to be shut down by the government. So that's not going to work under anarcho-capitalism because
there'll be
there's
no government
to shut them down.
Yeah.
So and that's the thing is the government protects the elite from the nobodies. That's what it does.
The elite doesn't need to be protected, though, if they have people, under their heel. This is why the South in the antebellum period kept such vicious control over the black slaves that they owned. It was to keep them from rebelling.
Yeah.
So it is working in China as well, with China just doing horrific things to the Chinese people in order to keep them in line, in order to forever prevent them from having the ability to organize and rebel.
But sooner or later, they're going to push it too far, and the people are going to kill them.
One would hope, but not if China has the mechanisms in place that immediately allow them to catch the people involved and put them to death. And they're working very hard on doing that with police running around with facial recognition and the social credit system and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it worked for Big Brother in 1984. If you have the mechanisms in place, you can, in theory, make it perpetual.
That was a good book.
It was.
I don't know.
Probably one of the only ones I've ever read cover to cover.
Really?
Yeah, 1984.
You're not a reader?
I'm learning to be one.
I'm surprised.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
So what else can people buy with cryptocurrency?
Of course, yeah. You?
in all manner of
Just name
capacities,
your price.
if the price is right.
You'll show up and help with the coronavirus. Of course, here we go back to the article. Of course, soap is still recommended for the go-to for a touch of class. You should try Gourmet's soap manufacturer Lush, which accepts Bitcoin, or show your allegiance to crypto of your choice with Bit soaps, which come.
Okay, that's bit silliness.
Which come emblazoned with Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum icons. And then they have rations, MREs. I've had these before. Meals ready to eat. If you're forced to self-isolate, heading down.
Are they calling these bit rations?
Well, no, I don't see that yet. Maybe. Well, we'll call them bit rations.
Hilarious.
If you're forced to self-isolate, heading down to the supermarket for canned food isn't an option. No, what you need are MREs, meals ready to eat.
So how come going online for canned food isn't an option?
I would guess I think the MRE is going to have a higher calorie count, and it's probably going to ship a lot better. So most of them come in bags. You could just ship it in an envelope.
Well, the other thing is MREs are designed not to have stringent storage requirements and to keep for a long time. So, you might put away 10,000 of these things, and, maybe in 5 years we'll need these.
You could have a whole box of MREs versus a whole box of, beans or tuna or whatever your other canned meat. And I'm sure the MREs are going to go a lot farther. When I had to eat these things, an entire what they considered a meal, you could certainly stretch at least for 2 days. But eating that thing in 1 day was really more than, especially if you had a sedentary job. If you weren't if you were using a lot of energy, you didn't need it replaced.
Yeah. Although keep in mind that just because they're both called MREs doesn't mean they're necessarily going to be the same size, shape, and quality if they come from different manufacturers.
Yes, the MRE that the government standard may be a lot more stringent than what nobody would consider an MRE and sell to you for Bitcoin. Hopefully, nobody's MRE would be even better than the government's.
Well, I don't know. It would depend on what prices I could get what at and how much my customers wanted to pay. So a lot of times I sold middies because I had a set of customers who just couldn't afford to smoke headies. And so I sold mid-grade, and I have no shame for selling mid-grade because it some of those guys wouldn't have been smoking weed at all if I hadn't had the mid-grade.
Thank you for qualifying to me what a MIDI is.
Yeah, well, I figured you would know, but
I assumed you meant the audio file.
No,
that's MIDI.
No, different kind of MIDI.
Yeah, well, it's
okay. Selling MIDIs, I guess that's an approach.
Yeah, see that's the terminology up here: middies and headies, or at least it was. I don't know what it is now.
The idea of a made meal ready to eat that is meatloaf scares me.
Yeah, there's not a lot of water in that thing, so just figure if you consume it, you want to consume water with it. You won't you won't make that mistake but a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, if they found a way
to... It's like meatloaf jerky, basically.
Well,
why not just buy a can of SpaghettiOs?
Well, I mean, probably this is going to be... it's going to last a lot longer than SpaghettiOs.
Well, the other thing is by having the food somewhat dehydrated, if you have to carry a lot of them on a long trek, you're not carrying all that water. You can drink water later at the site, and you've saved yourself a lot of mass.
I suppose I'm not a prepper though.
These things, things are created for the military, so they're going to be thinking, how many of these can I march with?
Well, if you had a box of these, you personally could make it last a very long time.
I have no desire to do that though. 855-450-3733. What are your thoughts on ready-to-eat meals? 855-450-FREE.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at marketfreetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. Marketfreetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, marketfreetalklive.com. Do you want to work from home, get paid, and forward Liberty all at the same time? Free Talk Live is looking for account executives and appointment setters. If you've got a phone, a computer, internet connectivity, initiative, and a belief in the non-aggression principle, you're qualified. Earn up to $85,000 a year full-time, $25,000 a year part-time. Set your own hours, work from home, spread freedom. Join our team and work with one of the biggest leaders in the Liberty movement. Apply now at sales.freetalklive.com. Sales.freetalklive.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the Heartland Newsfeed Radio Network, broadcasting live 24/7 at heartlandnewsfeed.com.
This stream is supported by advertisers and contributions by you.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,675. Silver at $17.35. And Bitcoin is trading around $9,122. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, Operation Palladium has begun. Hundreds of agents from Immigration and Customs Enforcement have entered New York and other sanctuary cities in a fresh attempt to round up undocumented immigrants. Mid-Press News reports the directive, according to officials, is simple. Arrest as many undocumented immigrants as possible and flood the streets with officers. Beginning a 24/7 surveillance and detention program, ICE leadership has requested over 500 special agents who normally work fighting trafficking and organized crime to bolster the agency's numbers. That follows an earlier decision to deploy immigration SWAT teams to round up undocumented immigrants in sanctuary cities. New York Times reporter Annie Carrill shared a viral image taken through a peephole of a Bronx apartment, showing an ICE agent brandishing an assault weapon and demanding to enter. Carrill claims that the officers were going door to door, threatening to force their way in, and residents said they did not present a warrant, both breaches of the law. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. News of the coronavirus and the resulting potentially deadly disease spreading throughout the United States and across the world continues to develop rapidly. The Mind Unleashed reports that according to a map managed by Johns Hopkins, there are now over 101,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19 and nearly 3,500 deaths worldwide. The CDC, meanwhile, is reportedly refusing to test a nurse with symptoms that volunteered to assist with COVID-19 patients at a California hospital. According to a letter posted on Twitter by Dr. Eric Feigl-Ding, the CDC claims that she cannot be tested because she was properly protected during her time volunteering. Meanwhile, Dr. Feigl-Ding said that 22 million Californians are now eligible for free medically necessary COVID-19 testing. However, there may still be a discrepancy when it comes to deciding which situations warrant testing and which ones don't. As coronavirus panic hits the United States, A financial lobbying group is attempting to use the crisis to push through the deregulation of its industry. Mint Press News reports the Bank Policy Institute, a Washington-based lobbying organization representing many of the nation's largest banks, released a set of proposals this week, the most important of which recommends that the Federal Reserve lower capital requirements to zero. That would mean banks could lend an unlimited amount without having any assets or wealth to back it up. It also advocated relaxing the so-called stress tests that force banks to show that they can withstand economic shocks. This, it claims, would help America fight the COVID-19 virus. The report's lead author was BPI CEO Greg Baer, former managing director of J.P. Morgan Chase. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Yeah, right there. Korf later said that he felt briefly relieved when Woodward's chat logo turned orange, but was once again dejected when it became green within seconds. And in this week's op-ed pages, a high school guidance counselor laments the fact that no one in his entire damn school has been molested. In other news, a bedbug feels bad for an area man, but a bug's gotta eat. A development exec wants to see what, where, and how that would look, live, and play out. And a man at the gym is just watching TV. For more, visit theonion.com/newsbeat.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. Or if you want clearer quality, like our next caller, you can use the Discord call-in lines that you can find at discord.freetalklive.com. With you tonight, it's Aria.
And Gray.
And nobody.
And let's go straight to the phones. We got Steven calling, who regularly co-hosts the show. Steven, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, Aria, and nobody, and everyone.
Hey, Steven.
You were talking about where you can spend Bitcoin, how you can spend Bitcoins. And I learned a new place recently that I love. It's called, I hate going out of my house or leaving my office. I work all the time. So I love staying at work and having food delivered right to me. And so...
Oh, yeah, I love DoorDash. Is there a version of that that takes crypto?
Exactly. It's DoorDash.
DoorDash? You can use crypto with DoorDash?
Yeah, you can spend Dash or Bitcoin SV or Bitcoin Cash or a number of others with DoorDash now. You have to go to egifter.com. That's egifter.com. And then you can buy DoorDash gift cards.
Gotcha.
With your Bitcoins, your Dash, your Bitcoin Cash. And then you can get deliveries from places like maybe half of the restaurants in your area. It's really a great service.
Oh, I did not realize this until I looked it up just now, because you reminded me that you can buy gift cards from giftcards.bitcoin.com, but it's powered by eGifter as well, evidently.
That's right. And when you buy a DoorDash gift card here with Dash, you get Dash back. So say you like to go to a restaurant and you like to order from them. Well, if you use Dash, and you get like 3 to 5 or even 7% off, or you get that 5% right back to your Dash wallet if you use eGifter.
And with eGifter?
Well, eGifter they process a bunch of different types of Bitcoins, maybe more than a dozen. And I have helped them process some of them. Definitely not all of them. So anyone who has a bunch of different coins can go and get DoorDash. I'm just mostly excited that I get to have my favorite restaurants delivered to me for cryptos, and I don't even have to leave anymore.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I would prefer that DoorDash actually directly take Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash and all of these other cryptocurrencies. Of course, that's the end goal, right? I think these third-party sites that utilize gift cards and things like that are necessary intermediary steps to showing DoorDash and Domino's and Pizza Hut and wherever else that, there is a market for this if they will natively support it.
You're right. It would be easier if DoorDash, and I'll say when DoorDash has Bitcoins integrated right into the app. But even better than that, maybe, so that's like step 2. We're on step 1, where you can get deliveries from anywhere with Bitcoins or Dash if you get a gift card. Step 2, like you just said, is where DoorDash accepts these currencies natively right in the app. But I think the ultimate goal is where when you use DoorDash and you pay with Bitcoins, the Bitcoin goes right to the owner of the business. Right. And DoorDash gets their cut in the same payment. So that even the business owners are getting Bitcoins. I think that would be the ultimate goal. Because I want all the business owners and everyone around me to be earning Bitcoins, because they get more freedom that way.
Yeah. And there's, as we were talking about in the first hour, there's no gatekeeper for you to use your Bitcoin. You don't have to ask anyone's permission. You don't have to get a bank to authorize it. If you want to send Bitcoin for something, you can do that. The only person who has to approve it is you. And I think that's right. Invaluable.
So we can convince people. I mean, we can teach people and help them understand why having Bitcoins and using them in their business is better. Yeah, but phase 2 is definitely getting that right in the DoorDash app. So I wanted to tell you about egifter.com. If you use Dash in particular, you get Dash back.
So if you buy the card with Dash, you'll get Dash back, is what you're saying?
That's right, yeah. So if you buy you can buy $10, $25, you're going to get 5 to 10% back right in your Dash wallet. So if you use Dash as an extra perk that they have, otherwise you can use the other coins.
Right.
And they don't just support DoorDash. So I learned about DoorDash only last week on eGifter, and I was so stoked. But they have all kinds of other retailers, like most of the major retailers that you know of are on egifter.com, and you can get Dash back on all of those, like places like Target and Home Depot and all kinds, even like Sephora makeup and Adidas, all kinds of places.
It'd be a good way to lock in some profits too. If you didn't want to exchange or cash out the old-fashioned way, you could buy the cards, and then your Bitcoins are sort of locked in at whatever price you buy the gift card for.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way of saying it. I don't like to talk about like profits in terms of fiat currency, but you're right. If you think that if any time you want to lock in your value, you can exchange it for some real goods like some shoes or something important. And
the only thing that concerns me about the gift cards is, and I don't know about eGifter, but with some of these places like keysforcoins.com, which allows you to still buy game keys for Steam using Bitcoin Cash or Dash or whatever, is that these keys will ultimately be rejected by Steam, and you won't have any way to get your Bitcoin back.
Oh, you're saying there's a lot of fraud on these other platforms.
Yeah, and I don't know. Presumably, if you buy something from eGifter, because they're a recognized site, it's going to ultimately be legitimate.
Yeah, my experience with these websites is whenever you buy it, you get a code that you plug into the app, and then you get a credit for whatever dollar amount you bought it for.
But who's to say someone else doesn't get that code? If Domino's or DoorDash or whoever took it directly, you would know with certainty.
I think once a code, I'm speculating, but I know when I did this with Amazon cards years ago, once I put the code in, it was immediately in my Amazon account. So I would expect that they have some mechanism on the back end that they, once it's transferred, it's not going to go to anybody else's. So somebody would have to double spend, send out two codes at the exact same time.
Double spend the code.
Sure.
Yeah, you're totally
but I mean, that's
right.
not impossible.
But there are problems. Ari is right. There are problems with that, and e-gifters, they have great support, and it's no problem at all. You're totally right. We will get Bitcoins directly right in the app, so you don't have to deal with these codes, because it doesn't make sense. Like, why are you buying $100 coupon when you need to spend $85?
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I just wanted you to know about DoorDash. It's really great.
Yeah, I love DoorDash. I started using them about 2 weeks ago, and now I can't imagine life without it. The only thing that sucks here in Keene, they don't deliver past midnight, and it's not until after midnight that I'm drunk and wanting something delivered to me.
You could probably
I want stuff delivered all the time, because here's an important economic lesson. The more you can specialize in what you do best, the more profits you're going to achieve. And going to fetch food probably isn't your best talent. So you might as well hire someone to do that for you.
Yeah, I experienced that with Uber. So, for example, you talk about nobody does it after 12.
Nobody does it all day and night long.
You can't miss an opportunity.
To give you an example, and to
there.
back up Stephen's point, a few weeks ago, while very drunk, I wanted some Sour Patch Kids, and I couldn't drive. So I paid someone $30 to bring me a bag of Sour Patch Kids. Now, if DoorDash had been delivering or something, I could have gotten an entire meal for that price.
Yep.
Yeah, I got a steak from DoorDash the other day. Instead of interrupting my work, I just had it delivered right to my desk.
Yeah, I love it. DoorDash is amazing. Stephen, thank you so much for the call, and thank you for letting us know about eGifter and the fact that I can buy DoorDash gift cards with Bitcoin Cash and Dash. I'm definitely not going to put that to use in 2.5 hours. This is Free Talk Live.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help. Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite. Pick up 2 bottles of Lico Chops, get the 3rd bottle free. New improved Lico Chops with omega-6, omega-3, vitamin E, and now 6 extra direct-fed microbials. Even better for the digestive tract and immune system. And dogs love it. Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free. This is Henry Lukasevic for Dynavite.
DINOVITE.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
My name is Angel Rach. I'm a mother of 2 teenage children, and I fought all the way to the Supreme Court for the right to use the medicine that saved my life. I've been permanently disabled for 10 years, with an inoperable brain tumor, wasting syndrome, and several other serious conditions. For 4 years, I was in a wheelchair, in so much pain I couldn't even hug my kids. The hardest part was looking in their eyes and seeing how much they were suffering because of my medical condition. The medicine that gave me my life back and gave my kids their mom back was cannabis, also known as medical marijuana. With medical marijuana, I can walk, maintain my weight, and I can be a mom. Without it, my doctors believe that I would die. To learn more about medical marijuana, contact Marijuana Policy Project at 1-877-JOIN-MPP or on the web at mpp.org.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Live video of our key New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And Gray.
And nobody.
And the coronavirus isn't going to stop Forkfest, so you can join liberty-minded voluntarists, anarchists, and libertarians from June the 29th until July the 5th for Forkfest 2020 at Rogers Campground in the beautiful White Mountains of New Hampshire. Forkfest is happening the week after the Porcupine Freedom Festival this year, and where better to spend Independence Day than around other freedom-loving activists in the Shire. There's no ticket cost. All you have to do is reserve your camping site, your RV site, or your motel room with Rogers Campground for June the 29th until July the 5th. You can just relax and go camping, or you can create whatever experience or event you want other liberty lovers to have. But if you're planning an event for Forkfest, be sure to let others know in advance. You can do that using the unofficial Telegram chat or the Forkfest forum. Links to those are on the unofficial website, forkfest.party. Again, that's forkfest.party. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be the best Forkfest yet, for sure.
Yeah, and Rogers is that's over July 4th weekend. So if you haven't made some reservations, you can wait till the last minute. Maybe you can stay with somebody, but you just plan ahead.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Well, that's what I've done. Let's go to the phones. We've got Jabaya calling. Jabaya, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hello.
Doesn't look like he's still there. Going once. Okay. Good talk.
Call back.
On the subject of Bitcoin, Peter Schiff, I brought in this article, but he talks a lot of crap about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin in particular. But in this most recent little spiel from him, he sounds so remarkably salty. And for those who are on the older side of things who don't know the vernacular, that he just sounds very jealous, very upset, very much like he's been crying. Hence the phrase salty. Very butthurt about something is another term that I've used a lot. So Peter Schiff has taken yet another dig at Bitcoin today, or yesterday, pinching media house CNBC of not covering the Bitcoin crash enough. The Bitcoin hasn't crashed, it's just on sale. He accused that if Bitcoin had been soaring instead of crashing, CNBC would have given it nonstop coverage. Are either of you familiar with CNBC?
Yeah, they're pretty pro crypto.
Are they? That's good.
They talk about it in mostly positive terms sometimes.
Okay. Well, he might have a point then. He said that CNBC has not even mentioned Bitcoin today. They spent months pumping Bitcoin as digital gold, a store of value that would outshine gold as a safe haven during times of market turbulence. If Bitcoin was soaring today instead of crashing, the coverage would have been nonstop.
And that is an extremely foolish view of Bitcoin, I would say. The whole digital gold idea because it's anything but stable. It didn't exist 10 years ago.
I think maybe the digital gold
argument
or point is about scarcity. Like gold's valuable because it's scarce, but Bitcoin is valuable because it's provably scarce, as it says.
Yeah, but you have to be both scarce and wanted. And like right now, if somebody asked me what cryptocurrencies I'll take, Bitcoin is going to be like the last that I list. If I included it all, because mostly because of the fees.
It would be the first one I would list.
And
without
also,
a doubt.
Probably because it's, I've been saying for a long time that it's overvalued. Because, BTC doesn't do anything that BCH doesn't do. As a matter of fact, BCH does a lot of things that BTC doesn't do. Those are Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash symbols, by the way.
Yeah, no doubt. But BTC right now has, they've got the name recognition. So everybody can, most people, if they
people can learn 3 more letters.
Yeah, they certainly can. And I'm sure they will as the wheels begin to fall off. These other things are going to be there.
That's the thing. As long as if the only reason that Bitcoin is higher is because, it's the only one that customers know about, then that's going to be reserved to, then people are going to get into Bitcoin and then end up drifting into other parts of the market. So,
well, isn't that what we all did?
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, it works. So Bitcoin is the gateway drug to cryptocurrency, I suppose.
Yeah, I would say I'm sort of agnostic. I would use any one that anybody wants to take.
Yeah, I would accept almost any cryptocurrency that someone was willing to pay me. Because if nothing else, it can probably flip into one that would be more useful for me.
It's a lot easier to switch from dollars, switch cryptos than it is to change dollars into Canadian or some other foreign currency.
That's absolutely true. And it's nice to have a Bittrex account because then you can just turn anything into anything.
So Schiff is one of the fiercest critics of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. Taking his criticism forward, he argued that Bitcoin is no longer a non-correlated asset and will now respond in line with other risk-prone assets like equities and bonds. However, who was ever arguing that Bitcoin is a non-correlated asset? Correlated to what? And this may be an economic term with which I'm unfamiliar, but it's going to be correlated to the market and to what is happening in the economy. I mean, if everybody is broke and scrambling, that's obviously going to affect Bitcoin.
Yeah, when he says non-correlated asset, that's almost certainly industry jargon where everybody knows what it's supposed to be correlated with. But if you looked up the term in Investopedia, you would probably find it.
Yeah, he has... For many years, I read, I forgot what the name of the book was, but that was one of the first books I read, liberty-related, money, economics, things.
Peter Schiff wrote this book?
The Coming Crash or something like that. Basically.
Yeah, I think I read that one too.
Yeah, and it was, basically about how governments cheat the money supply, and this is what you end up with. And so
Peter Schiff
absolutely
wrote this book.
Yeah.
Well, this book, I don't know what you're referring to. The book I'm talking about? It's The Coming Crash, or I don't remember the exact name of the book, but...
why is he criticizing cryptocurrency then?
Well, not about Bitcoin. That's what I'm leading into. I think he has quite a following of people of, Euro Pacific Capital. That's his thing to help people, sort of save their money and keep the government out of it. Or maybe make it so that they have enough of it to pay the government. I don't know.
Yeah.
But my point being is that he has a following of people who are about hard money. So silver, gold, properties, things like that. So, yeah.
So he's a gold maximalist?
Sure, maybe.
Yeah.
More so than he is Bitcoin maximalist.
I definitely want to hold some precious metal along with my Bitcoin, because how am I going to spend Bitcoin when the power is out or the internet's down?
Right.
Exactly. You better have some precious metal. It's not one or the other, but yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. He's a gold maximalist.
Well, that's certainly one way to go. More about Peter Schiff in a moment. This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-3733.
I want to tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at marketfreetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. Marketfreetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, marketfreetalklive.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. The LRN.FM's social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project early movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And Gray.
And nobody.
And speaking of economic collapse and gold and Bitcoin and, the government destroying its currency with a debt of $23 trillion and $127 trillion that it ultimately is, owed to various people, you should take control of your money. Don't let your retirement savings be used to bail out the government. Instead of just building a plan for you, Tom Young, the author and founder of the CFO Project, can show you how to create strategies now to save money without penalties and with as little government involvement as possible. His new book, The Family Money Farm, the CFO Project, will show you exactly how to build wealth and eliminate debt at the same time. To get your free copy, just go to cfo-project.com. Invest in yourself and your family today. Again, that's cfo-project.com. Well, let's go to the phones. We got Russell calling from Illinois. Russell, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hello, how you doing? I'm talking about Peter Schiff. You know, if you're going to talk about him, at least know a little bit more about him. He's actually owned an investment firm for 30-plus years, Europe Pacific Capital. He called the 2008 downturn. He called the dot-com bubble in 2000. So he has some predictions, so he knows what he's talking about. Okay?
No doubt.
If you're just going to talk about
he's a big Ron Paul
because he doesn't
supporter,
like
too.
something you don't like, that's fine. But, you know, do some research. Don't put... He's exactly opposed to Paul Krugman. He's completely different.
Oh, okay. Fair points.
Sorry.
Yeah, I would definitely say he's along the lines of an Austrian economist.
I mean, we were discussing this during the last segment, though, how he's, you know, a gold maximalist and not a cryptocurrency enthusiast.
Yeah, but his arguments against Bitcoin are just not out of the blue. They're actually, if you listen to them, they're correct. Okay, in the long run, he might be proven wrong, or he might be proven correct. But there are legitimate arguments that he has against Bitcoin.
Can you give me an example?
The fact that they talk about Bitcoin on MSCP is a bad thing, because they always talk about stuff in order to prop up the thing they're talking about, whether it be a stock or, in this case, Bitcoin. But you do not actually want them promoting something on that channel, because they pump things up. Does that make sense? I'm talking about, but you know, not the investment.
Sure, but that's about them and not Bitcoin itself, right?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly think that Bitcoin is a useful thing, because having tried to trade in silver, for example, if I go to PorkFest, a camping festival we have, and I can pay people in silver, okay, but that's like a $24 bill that you can't give change for. So what I personally...
Bitcoin might have a purpose as in exchange. I mean, even Peter Schiff says that he actually believes in blockchain, and that will be the future. But it's the idea that Bitcoin is a store of value that he has problems with.
Yeah, that's nonsense. Bitcoin is not a store of value. Bitcoin is a means of exchange.
Okay. You're both talking at the same time, and I'm not able to catch what either one of you are saying.
Go ahead.
I don't know how you can say that Bitcoin isn't a medium of exchange or a store of value, because it has literally been storing value for the past 10 years. And that value has been steadily increasing for the last 10 years.
That's called, that's called a speculation, not a store of value.
But it has literally done that. It has literally stored value for people for the last 10 years.
Okay. Now, if you're looking for a stable investment...
You understand the difference between speculation, okay?
It's not speculation. Speculation is the future. The past 10 years is literally what happened.
Okay. You're talking though to somebody who's arguing for a metal that has a 5,000-year history of going up
so
regularly.
We're penalizing
so
Bitcoin
the fact
because
that
it's a
something's
new
been
invention?
around for 10 years or 20 years is not. There's no.
So yes, the answer is we're penalizing Bitcoin because it's a new idea invented by all of these young whippersnappers with their skateboards on the sidewalk.
We're not penalizing anything.
But that's what you're saying.
First off, we're
that's
not
what you're saying. It's
children.
only been around for 10 years. It doesn't have gold's 5,000-year-long history. Well, in 5,000 years, it won't have gold's 10,000-year-old history. But it will still be doing what it does.
But it will if it still exists, and it almost certainly won't.
No, because gold will always have that. No, gold will always have that age advantage.
Yes.
What's the argument, Russell?
You don't even understand what speculation is.
Russell, you're the one who does it, because I'm talking about the last 10 years of Bitcoin's history that proves it was a store of value. Not only did it store value for people, it increased that value substantially, overwhelmingly, the biggest, most profitable store of value for the last decade.
Okay, so it's a store of value, but maybe not have been the best store of value at times.
It was provable. That's not speculation, Russell. That's literally what just happened in the last decade.
Whoa.
Speculation is about the future. What happened is about the past.
No. If
yes,
the next decade is not worth anything, that will be a speculation.
Russell, thank you so much for the call. This is moronic. You can't speculate on something that provably happened in the past. If you're speculating, you're speculating on the future, not what has literally
apparently you're not
occurred.
Understanding what economists mean when they use the word speculation.
They're talking about speculating in the future.
What economists mean when they use the word speculation, they're talking about speculators. They're talking about people who buy something in hopes that it will go up. So to say that that price was a result of speculation is not to say the same as you're speculating about what the price was.
Well, that's what the word means, though. And it is saying that the only reason Bitcoin increased in value is because of people.
Because that is not how the word speculate
I'm the ignorant one because I'm
used in
suggesting that
economics.
the last 10 years are speculative and that we can't prove.
Okay,
because it's all
do you know what a
speculative.
speculator does?
Hey, stop yelling at me.
Do you know what a speculator does?
I know exactly what they do. They speculate.
Okay, and the result
I'm not
of
speculating on what happened during the last 10 years, though. That's the part you're not getting.
No, but the people who are holding Bitcoin are speculating about what's going to happen in the next 10
That's the future.
years.
We're talking about the past. And the
exactly.
past
They're speculating about the future.
My point
and they're
is,
holding because they've
Rich,
speculated that it
calm
might
down.
be a good deal.
My point is that the last 10 years proved that Bitcoin was a store of value.
Well,
that doesn't
I'm sure
mean it'll be a
if you
store of
look
value
far
tomorrow.
enough back in history,
Rich, stop interrupting me. That doesn't mean that Bitcoin will be a store of value tomorrow. But it was a store of value. It's provable.
Great. There was a 10-year
value.
There was a 10-year period when tulips were a great store of value in wherever, Holland. That doesn't mean that that's going to be true forever.
Why do you act like I'm speculating on the future? I'm clearly talking about the last 10 years proving that Bitcoin was, keyword was, a store of value.
Okay, people who buy and sell a commodity are called speculators, and since you own Bitcoin, you are absolutely a speculator.
It's not a commodity, it's a currency.
Tomato, same diff. You can also speculate in currencies. Guess what? Speculator is another way of saying investor.
And again, you're talking about what Bitcoin is going to do in the future. I'm talking about...
Yes, that's exactly what they're speculating about.
But we're not even talking about that. I'm talking about the last 10 years. That demonstrably, mathematically, economically proved that Bitcoin was a store of value for people
one particular point of time, which is over. So
That's
it doesn't
all we
tell
ever
you
have.
anything about the future.
We never have certainty in the future. We don't know that gold will have any value whatsoever
all
tomorrow.
We've got is speculators.
Yeah, and that's true.
And that's the whole point, is the value of everything is based on speculation.
Which is equally true of gold.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's 5,000-year-old history doesn't matter any more than Bitcoin's 10-year history.
The only thing is there's no question in anybody's mind about whether gold is going to break next week because there is a bug in it nobody found.
No, Rich, they are speculating it. They are speculating that gold won't break. They don't know that.
Okay, gold is going to be the same next week. If the molecular structure of gold starts breaking down,
you should learn quantum mechanics.
It's physical.
Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon you'll need a plan and place to survive. Forget bunkers. You're not a live underground gopher. You need survivalist camps, the ultimate fully functional, off-the-grid mobile survival bug-out house that's well-equipped and custom-built to outlast any other RV or trailer. Bold statement? You bet. See them now at survivalistcamps.com. That's survivalistcamps.com. Trust your family's survival to survivalistcamps.com.
Get healthy, not high, with 100% pure CBD powerful natural pain relief from Veterans Vitality. GCN listeners, have you ever thought about how CBD may help you? I'm sure you have heard about the many benefits of CBD. Well, here's your opportunity to try before you buy. Created by veterans and for everyone who deserves better choices, our CBD is derived from organic hemp, grown in the USA and third-party tested. Veterans Vitality CBD saves you as much as 25 to 50% over our competition, and a portion of all sales is contributed to veteran nonprofits and events. Many of our customers have experienced improved quality of life, help with anxiety, PTSD, and overall well-being. Our products do not contain THC. They are safe, non-addictive, effective, and 100% legal. GCN listeners, get your free trial bottle of premium CBD by simply paying shipping and handling at GCNFreeCBD.com. That's GCNFreeCBD.com. Again, GCNFreeCBD.com. Offered by Veterans Vitality Premium CBD.
This is Fred.
Hi, I'm Fred.
Fred's a repeater.
I tend to repeat.
Fred has a business.
I do have a business.
And a problem. Fred repeats the same tired advertising over and over, and now it doesn't work.
Over and over.
But Fred is about to see a vision.
I'm seeing a vision.
Advertising on the Genesis Communications Network is the smart way for Fred to reach his potential customers with the most affordable national advertising rates, period. Get started today with GCN, the Genesis Communications Network. Just email advertise@gcnlive.com.
When you're coping with bad news and the news media come calling, and they will, don't clam up. As notorious political figures find out the hard way, the cover-up can be worse than the crime. So get out in front of unfavorable news about your company, your group, or organization, or yourself. The sooner you confront a negative story, the sooner it will be over. Responding as quickly to negative stories as you do to positive ones enhances your credibility. Hiding embarrassing information or lying will do more damage than damage control. Never stonewall. Tell your side of the story, use specifics, and detail what corrective action has already been taken. Respond in kind. If the issue is emotional, don't sound like a cold, unemotional Mr. Spock. For more tips on critical communication skills for the way things are now, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up in any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And Gray.
And nobody.
And I want to say thank you to David, who is tonight's amplifier. He's a silver amplifier, which is all you need to join the AMP program. You can find out more about it at amp.freetalklive.com, but essentially, it's money that is used strictly to advertise, market, and promote Free Talk Live. So if you like the show and you like what we're doing, you might consider checking out the AMP program. We would certainly appreciate it. And David, we certainly appreciate you. We hope you enjoy the show, and we hope you continue amplifying it to help us get on more radio stations, more followers on DLive, Twitch, all of that awesome stuff.
Thanks, David.
Well, let's go. I don't want to. Let's get back to this story from Peter Schiff. Well, we have James on hold. I mean, he's been irate lately. He's not calling in with points. He's just calling in to say, oh, you're lucky to be alive. Look how manly I am. I'm such an internet tough guy, and I don't want to deal with it. James,
yeah,
screw off. Have a good night.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I do, but not if all he's going to do is basically read out verbatim the kind of crap he types into the toxic user room on Discord that you can find at discord.freetalklive.com. Avoid the toxic user room, though, because
there's a toxic user in there.
There very much is. The only person I've ever blocked on Discord.
Wow.
So anyway, after reeling just under the $10,000 mark for weeks, Bitcoin has seen a sharp fall in the last few days. Oh, it certainly has, too. After being priced at around $8,500 on March the 1st, Bitcoin is now dropped to less than $7,850 this morning, and the fall doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon. I think I actually saw it at 75 at one point today, but I don't recall now. Moreover, a global slowdown in general validates Schiff's argument that Bitcoin is no longer a non-correlated asset, which isn't all that bad. In fact, it's a great sign in many ways, as the accusation that Bitcoin alone is volatile will go down and dusted. One would hope, but that doesn't seem to be the likely outcome. Anyway, let's go to the phones. We got Robert calling from Ohio. Robert, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hi. So I want to know what your guys' opinions are as far as the census goes. I kind of feel that it's a unconstitutional thing, especially most of the questions that are asked on it. I guess if they want to know how many people are in the country, that's one thing, although I still don't feel like I should have any obligation to answer their stupid questions and stuff, and I have every intention just to destroy the mailing and just not answer. So what are your guys' opinions on the 2020 census?
That sounds pretty accurate, what you just said.
I think I would like it if the fleas of 1,000 camels found the tents of the people who put out the census, and I applaud you for ignoring them, and I thank you for your service.
Yeah, that's essentially the way I would handle it. If a census taker came to my door, I would either not answer, or I would say, no, you work for the government, get the hell off my property.
Or you control them and do whatever you want with that paper.
Just waste as much of their time as possible.
Or you can go one step further and take the job. Because they're advertising for census takers. It's like $25 an hour plus mileage.
That would be fun. Just go from door to door and say, "I'm from the government, you knee-biting jerk."
Except I would never want to work for the government my entire life.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that.
The only way I would want to work for the government is if I would have an opportunity for monkey wrenching.
Like the census job, you could certainly have the job for monkey wrenching there until they caught you. So basically, you'd be making whatever they pay you to be an activist.
And if you were going to work for the government, a census taker is probably the least screwed up way that you could work for the government, because by then people do volunteer you that information, and they probably do volunteer it to census takers because they work for the government and, quote, you can't lie to the government. But
I mean, I'm not initiating force, so I guess it would be the best if I really had to work for the government. I'm not initiating any force. So
yeah, I think the only real force there is the fact that you would effectively be paid via taxation.
Well, also there is the threat of a $100 fine if you don't take the census.
Is there?
Yeah. They threatened me with that in. I think it was 2000, the 2000 census. I was in Florida, and they sent me the long form of the census thing, and I had read the Constitution, and it said they could enumerate the people. So I took a big red magic marker, and instead of answering their 50 questions, I wrote a big 3 over the whole page, and I sent it back to them. And so then they sent this little Japanese woman to my door, cute as a button, and she started asking me questions. And as soon as I found out she was census, every question she asked me, I would say 3.
How do you know she was Japanese?
Well, actually, at the end of it, she was saying things like, "Well, we won't use. We know you won't. We don't use this information for anything except to apportion representatives. And I said, really, are you Japanese? And she said, yeah.
Oh.
And I said, did you know that your people were thrown in internment camps during World War II, and that they were almost certainly located due to the census? And she got a little pale.
Did she know that?
Huh?
Did she appear to know that?
Well, she didn't appear to want to acknowledge that point at all. But then again, there it is.
Robert, thank you so much for the call. It's an interesting topic, all the more interesting because, I mean, you're right, Rich. It was the census that caused people in 1930s Germany to just put down that they were Jews because they thought nothing about it. And then, oh no, the Nazi government had all of this paperwork showing them exactly who the Jews were.
Yeah, I think there's a checkbox on tax returns now for cryptocurrency users.
There are.
So that might be part of that, too. Who knows?
And the census form has a place for people who are Hispanic and who are now, essentially being rounded up and put into concentration camps, just like Japanese people were in the 40s.
Yeah, the king likes to know what all of his peasants are doing.
And it's better, I think, for us to not let the king know what we're doing.
Amen.
I think that they found the proper solution to kings and King James the First, but I can't say what they did to him on the radio.
I'm assuming they executed him?
Yes, it's said that his screams were heard all over London.
That's something for me to Google.
Yes.
Because now I'm curious.
Yes. I'm hoping I got the king right.
I'm sure it happened to at least one of them.
There's been a lot of kings throughout history, and I'm sure a lot of them were executed.
Yeah.
They may be ridden out of town on a rail. That actually happened, right?
Yeah. Well, this involves a red-hot poker.
Oh, it doesn't seem that was the case. Well, for some reason it brought up King Charles the First, not King James the First. This is a very weird... But King Charles was beheaded, so, I mean, he didn't... That seems to be what largely happened to kings throughout history, is that's how they met their end.
And there's something to be said for that. I mean, the one advantage is of that kind of rule is it's unstable, in that all you have to do is kill one guy and everything changes.
Yeah. Well, that turned out not to be the case by the 19th century or I think it was the 19th century, in the time of the French Revolution, as Thomas... No, it couldn't have been the 19th century. It would have been the 18th. As Thomas Paine pointed out, it was not just the king anymore. That was just one tyranny. But now there were thousands of bureaucrats appointed by the king that also had to be taken out. It wasn't just that, you had this one guy who was corrupt. You had thousands of people.
Yeah, although, if you whack the king and you prevent the installation of another one... the little guys have nobody to follow. So, sooner or later, somebody will rise up and try to make themselves king. But
it's the same thing we're going through now with these elections. You get rid of one guy and you stick another one in, and then the next one comes up and says, hey, elect me, we'll fix it, we'll get rid of this other guy. But the problem is the system.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is the system, I think, and it's also, I believe that the Democrats and Republicans behind closed doors cooperate very consciously in order to keep a lock on both the voting public and on the voting mechanism and
power.
on the media.
Sure. Because that's what it's all about, is keeping their power.
All the power.
But this has been Free Talk Live. Again, you might want to consider checking out amp.freetalklive.com if you like the show, or just head on over there and check out the show archives going back more than 10 years. That's freetalklive.com and amp.freetalklive.com.
Our history classes start teaching the Constitution around 1776 or even later. The foundation of our Constitution goes deeper than that. Without examining the context that gave America its principles and its founding documents, we cannot understand the foundation of our liberty and our constitutional republic. Liberty First University teaches online classes in a way that all ages find compelling and understandable, from middle school to law school. Join us at lfu.freetalklive.com to watch the free pre-recorded webinar. Watch now at lfu.freetalklive.com.
Do you want to work from home, get paid, and forward liberty all at the same time? Free Talk Talk Live is looking for account executives and appointment setters. If you've got a phone, a computer, internet connectivity, initiative, and a belief in the non-aggression principle, you're qualified. Earn up to $85,000 a year full-time, $25,000 a year part-time. Set your own hours, work from home, spread freedom. Join our team and work with one of the biggest leaders in the liberty movement. Apply now at sales.freetalklive.com. Sales.freetalklive.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191.
Coming up next.
You're listening to the Heartland Newsfeed Radio Network, broadcasting live 24/7 at heartlandnewsfeed.com.
This stream is supported by advertisers and contributions by you.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,675, silver at $17.35, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,122. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, Operation Palladium has begun. Hundreds of agents from Immigration and Customs Enforcement have entered New York and other sanctuary cities in a fresh attempt to round up undocumented immigrants. Mid-Press News reports the directive, according to officials, is simple. Arrest as many undocumented immigrants as possible and flood the streets with officers. Beginning a 24/7 surveillance and detention program, ICE leadership has requested over 500 special agents who normally work fighting trafficking and organized crime to bolster the agency's numbers. That follows an earlier decision to deploy immigration SWAT teams to round up undocumented immigrants in sanctuary cities. New York Times reporter Annie Carrill shared a viral image taken through a peephole of a Bronx apartment, showing an ICE agent brandishing an assault weapon and demanding to enter. Carrill claims that the officers were going door to door, threatening to force their way in, and residents said they did not present a warrant, both breaches of the law. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. News of the coronavirus and the resulting potentially deadly disease spreading throughout the United States and across the world continues to develop rapidly. The Mind Unleashed reports that according to a map managed by Johns Hopkins, there are now over 101,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19 and nearly 3,500 deaths worldwide. The CDC, meanwhile, is reportedly refusing to test a nurse with symptoms that volunteered to assist with COVID-19 patients at a California hospital. According to a letter posted on Twitter by Dr. Eric Feigl-Ding, the CDC claims that she cannot be tested because she was properly protected during her time volunteering. Meanwhile, Dr. Feigl-Ding said that 22 million Californians are now eligible for free medically necessary COVID-19 testing. However, there may still be a discrepancy when it comes to deciding which situations warrant testing and which ones don't. As coronavirus panic hits the United States, a financial lobbying group is attempting to use the crisis to push through the deregulation of its industry. Mid-Press News reports the Bank Policy Institute, a Washington-based lobbying organization representing many of the nation's largest banks, released a set of proposals this week, the most important of which recommends that the Federal Reserve lower capital requirements to zero. That would mean banks could lend an unlimited amount without having any assets or wealth to back it up. It also advocated relaxing the so-called stress tests that force banks to show that they can withstand economic shocks. This, it claims, would help America fight the COVID-19 virus. The report's lead author was BPI CEO Greg Baer, former managing director of J.P. Morgan Chase. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Channels. Don't wait. Call National Programming Service right now. You could be up and running and watching your favorite sports and shows in just a few hours. Remember, call in the next 10 minutes and ask about our special radio offer and learn about free installation. Call right now.
800-470-7113. 800-470-7113. 800-470-7113. That's 800-470-7113.
Live, worldwide, Sports Byline USA. And here's host, Ron Barr.
And wherever you might be across this great country of ours and around the world, I'm Ron Barr. Good to have you with us for another edition of Sports Byline. And boy, have we gotten a lot of response to our fan poll question of should Major League Baseball, the NBA, NHL, and MLS play fanless games until the coronavirus is under control. Now, the first day, the voting was 17% of you. Only 17% said yes, they should play fanless games. And that now has jumped to 31%, with 69% of you saying no. So check it out. It's on the homepage at sportsbyline.com. And speaking of that, more news coming along today from Major League Baseball. MLB is moving toward different sites for games once the 2020 regular season gets underway in late March. And this could take on several forms. Teams could play at other MLB stadiums in cities less affected by the crisis, while its primary tenant is on the road. They could stay at their spring training facilities in Arizona or Florida, and also stage regular season contests there, since those places are experienced at hosting major league games. Baseball has even received outreach from outside parties with facilities large enough to host MLB teams if they can't play at home. A number of events have certainly been canceled, playoffs and college basketball, so we'll keep an eye on this and keep you updated on it. We're going to be talking with Scott Brocious in just a second. You certainly know that name, former Major League Baseball third baseman and outfielder. He played 10-plus seasons, and he was an All-Star and Gold Glove winner when he played with the Yankees. And also he won 3 World Series with the Yankees and was the 1998 MVP of the World Series. And he now has a brand new job in baseball. He is the manager of Team USA that If the Olympics do go on in Japan this summer, he will be the manager of the United States team. So we'll be talking to him, and then right after that, I'm going to share with you an interview that I did with Mike Krzyzewski a couple years ago after he had won his 700th game. He's now won over 900 games, and he had won 3 NCAA championships. So we're ready to go. Good to have you with us on Sports Byline.
Don't go out to eat, go out to Eat at Chili's. Chicken or shrimp fajitas are now on 3 for $10. So hear that chicken sizzle.
Ooh, yummy.
Or that shrimp sizzle.
They sound so similar.
People laughing and having fun. Hey, Gary, maybe take it down a notch? It's a bit much.
Sorry.
Just kidding, Gary. Live your truth. Go out to Eat at Chili's for 3 for $10. That's a starter, fajita, and Coke, all for $10. Together, we Chili's. At participating restaurants only. Price may vary in Hawaii.
A little story about Boost Mobile. Davis, I am feeling pain.
What, your dog died? Your girlfriend left you?
No, the pain I'm feeling is having an old smartphone.
Mm-hmm. That's why I switched to Boost Mobile and got 4 free phones for $25 per line.
Well, I didn't. Without Boost Mobile, I got an old phone. It makes my life sad. I feel so alone. I'm switching to Boost, getting 4 phones for free. Yeah, Samsung Galaxies for my whole family.
Switch to Boost Mobile and get 4 lines for $25 per line per month with unlimited data and 4 free Samsung Galaxy A20 phones, all on our super reliable, super fast network. Step up with Boost Mobile. New customers only. Limited time offer while supplies last. Requires 1 port from eligible carrier and activation. 1 free device per line. Customers who use more than 35 gigabytes of data during a billing cycle will be deprioritized during times of network congestion. Offers and coverage not available everywhere. See boostmobile.com or retailer for full details.
The great thing about facts, they're proven. Like the fact that crude oil contains impurities. Or that base oil made from natural gas is 99.5% free of impurities. And the fact that Pennzoil is the first synthetic motor oil made from natural gas, not crude oil. It gives you unbeatable engine protection. The proof is in the Pennzoil. Based on Sequence 4A wear test using SAE 5W30. Find it at Firestone Complete Auto Care.
Hey, so are you the type of guy that wants to look put together, but doesn't want to spend hours at the mall finding new clothes? So you can look great at the office, on the road, or even just on the weekend with friends and family? I hear you. This is why there's Stitch Fix, your personal styling service that delivers hand-picked clothes right to you. Stitch Fix is simple. Sign up in just a few minutes. Tell them about the brands that work for you, and even let them know what types of styles you prefer. Stitch Fix is convenient. You get great clothes delivered right to you, so you can try new styles on in the comfort of your own home and make a decision without any pressure. And Stitch Fix is on your terms and priced to match your budget. There's no subscription required ever. Keep what you want and send back anything you don't. So, isn't it time you got it all together? Get started today at StitchFix.com. Stitch Fix. Personal styling for men, women, and kids. Stitch Fix. Personal styling for everybody.
This is America's Sports Talk Show, Sports Byline USA. Here's Ron Barr.
Scott Brocious joins us on Sports Byline. Former third baseman and outfielder. He played 10-plus seasons and was an All-Star and also a Gold Glove winner. He also won 3 World Series championships playing with the Yankees, and he was the 1998 World Series MVP. But he now has a new baseball job. He's the manager of Team USA. Tell everybody what Team USA is and what you're going to be doing as the manager.
Yeah, well, of course, as the manager here, we're hoping to, with our staff here, to take the professional national team. This is the team we're talking about. USA Baseball actually has national teams starting as young as age 12 and working all the way through the high school, college, and then, of course, into the professional ranks. And so this team, this will be a team of professionals that as we head into March here in a couple of weeks, we'll be participating in the Americas qualifier, hoping to gain a bid to the Olympics in Tokyo this summer.
When you take a look at the Olympics in baseball, it's a relatively new sport to baseball in a sense. What will be the goal of Team USA in this Olympic Games?
Well, the goal number one obviously is to qualify and get there. Not to put the cart ahead of the horse. And so we know we face some strong competition. This year's Olympics in Tokyo, there's only 6 teams participating, and so it's a smaller field, which means obviously bids to the Olympics are going to be very competitive. And so it starts with our goal of qualifying and then getting there. And I think any team, any American national team, but especially in terms of baseball, I think our expectations will be to get ourselves to Tokyo and then show up and come home with a gold medal.
Scott, how much thought have you and the staff given to what's happening in the world with the coronavirus? Because, I mean, it's one thing you have to focus on the sport that you're playing, but then to have something like this come into play, what have you guys talked about in dealing with that discussion?
Yeah, there's no question it's a factor. It's something that's on all of our minds, and I think it's the way we've kind of looked at it. It's kind of twofold. Is we know it's out there. We're paying close attention. Obviously, it's something of great concern for not just sports, but obviously well beyond that. So we're watching to pay attention to see what the implications of the virus might mean to the Olympics, to the qualifiers, things like that. But then at the same time, our focus on the day-to-day basis right now is getting our roster set and putting the team together that we believe will help us qualify for the Olympics.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about that roster. It's a 28-man roster. What do you have to work with?
Yeah, and it's actually for this round, it's actually a 26-man roster, so it's a slightly smaller roster. The tournament is March 22nd through 26th. It's 5 games in 5 days. So, the challenge we have is towards the end of spring training, getting the players. There's, of course, the big league players are not eligible for the qualifier, so this will be minor league players both on and off the 40-man roster are eligible. And so right now, as we look at the roster, we do have to stock it pretty deeply with some pitching, as we know pitch counts and things like that will be a factor here in March.
When you mention about the final roster, is that going to include at all any Major League Baseball players, or is it relegated to what you've been talking about?
Yeah, it will not include active Major League players. They will be, obviously there'll be some players on the roster with Major League experience, but current 26-man roster players are not eligible for the tournament.
Yeah, I'm going to go tongue-in-cheek here. I assume your philosophy, along with your staff, is KISS, keep it simple, stupid, when you're dealing with something that you have to deal with on a short basis?
Yeah, I wish you'd like to think that way. It is a little bit of a complicated process, and I say complicated. You're right. It's a simple process. Get the best players there that we can, but it is a little bit more complicated than that as we try to identify players that might be available, guys that maybe won't be on the 26-man roster, but that teams will make available. And then, of course, from the team side of things too, it's which guys will teams make available to us and allow us to play on this. So yeah, while the simple processing is let's get the best team out there we can, we know it's a little bit more complicated than that.
I think about my NBA friends that have played in the Olympics on the Olympic basketball team, and the rules are different. The court is a little bit different as well. Are there any nuances with baseball in the Olympics than what we're used to normally?
No, I think it's pretty similar. The rules are very similar to Major League rules. Probably the one piece that kind of jumps out, our minor league guys are used to it, is there is a tie break scenario in the Olympics and international play. Instead of just a straight extra innings, once we get to the 10th inning, there's a tie break where we start each inning with runners on first and second and nobody out. And so the goal is to try to generate runs scored, to try to help games end so we don't have kind of those nightmarish, 17, 18-inning games that could really impact a tournament.
Is there any replay going to be used in the competition?
There is. There's limited replay. It's probably not quite as expansive as what we see at the Major League level, but we do have replay available.
You have a couple of coaches that I'm familiar with. Your former teammate Willie Randolph is going to be a bench coach, and also Anthony Sanders, who won a gold medal as a player for Team USA at the Sydney Games. I assume they're going to be a lot of help to you in this experience.
Yeah, and again, going back to your question earlier about some of the moving parts and keeping it simple, the coaching staff has undergone some changes also due to availability. So, for example, Willie Randolph, because of his contract with the Yankees and the things that he does there, won't be available for this. Brian Price, of course, was our pitching coach at the Premier 12 and is with the Phillies now, and Joe Girardi over there. And so Anthony Sanders as well got a big league job over the winter with Baltimore. So those guys are not returning, obviously due to their commitments. And so we've added Jerry Weinstein and Darren Finster, and Andy Pettit will be our pitching coach for this round.
Well, thank you for the update on that, because the information I got had those names listed. Let me ask you about young talent in this country playing baseball. What have you noticed? I know you worked at Linfield College. You've also worked with a lot of young players. What are you seeing as far as the young baseball player coming up today?
Yeah, I think I see a combination of things. I think the game, number one, I guess I'll say I see guys that are getting bigger, stronger, more talented at an early age. You see, I work with the 18 under group, for example, and I just watch, player after player come in, and you realize, wow, these guys are still juniors in high school, and you realize what a deep talent, pool of talent that we have in the country of players. But the game, does have a trickle-down effect, and so when you look at the big league game as it is today, there is more emphasis on power pitching, power hitting, less on, kind of what some of the things we used to do, I would say, in prior years, generations ago, less running, less hitting and running, bunting, things like that. And so you do see that kind of as a trickle-down into the colleges and into the high schools. You see, maybe a little bit more swing and miss, maybe a little bit more emphasis on power than on maybe some of the, kind of the finer aspects of the game. But ultimately we're seeing players that, very talented players, that are just more advanced at a younger age.
We've got about 90 seconds left, but Scott, when we talk and we hear an awful lot about what happened with the Houston Astros, I think that there is a positive trickle-down effect. And that is the fact that there's been such an outcry on this that I think young players will think about this. This will send a strong message. You don't play the game except you play it fairly. Am I correct in that observation, in your opinion?
Yeah, I would certainly hope that would be the case. I think we all understand learning what we've learned about the Astros, and of course the Red Sox, I think, piece is still to fall here. That yes, I mean, we all wanted to try to play the game. We play the game to win, but you don't want to, crossing those type of lines to where you're blatantly, breaking rules and going just above and beyond fair play is just, I think we want with all of our guys, just like we want with our kids, we want to have success, but we want to do it the right way.
In about 20 seconds, you've always enjoyed teaching and working with young players. Why is that?
I think for me, I love, because I know I had coaches and parents and people in my life that were so important to my development. So I love being on the other side of it, and it's so fulfilling, I think, when you see kind of the light bulb turn on for a player and you see something click, you see him become a better player and then hopefully develop into just a better person as well.
Scott, I want to thank you. You've always been very kind to me here at Sports Byline. Good luck with developing your Olympic baseball team. We'll keep in touch with you. Take care, my friend.
I sure appreciate it. Thanks for having me on today.
Again, Scott Brocious with us, former third baseman, outfielder, played 10-plus seasons, and he was an All-Star, Gold Glove winner. He won 3 World Series championships when he was playing with the Yankees, and he was the MVP of the 98 World Series, now the manager of Team USA in baseball. We continue on Sports Byline.
It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. Call right now. That number is 800-485-6003.
If you or a loved one is suffering from a physical or emotional condition that has left you unable to work, then listen carefully. Take this number down. 800-593-7491. That's 800-593-7491. When you call, you'll speak with a Social Security disability expert and get a free evaluation to see if you may qualify for disability insurance benefits from the U.S. government. That's right, a monthly cash payment paid directly to you from the Social Security Administration. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied disability benefits, call now. The disability attorneys at Pinnacle Disability can help you build your case, file an appeal, and represent you at no upfront cost to you. Don't wait another minute to see if you may qualify for your Social Security disability benefits. Call Pinnacle Disability Group at 800-593-7491 for your free case evaluation. That's 800-593-7491. 800-593-7491. Call now.
Are you an active stock market investor? Well, then you know these three key words: buy, sell, hold. Those three magic words can make or lose you money in the stock market. What if we can show you a time-tested tool that's been helping stock market investors succeed for over 30 years? It's called VectorVest, an amazing system designed to make smart investing easy. The VectorVest system analyzes, sorts, and ranks over 19,000 stocks every day and tells you when to buy, what to buy, and when to sell any stock to maximize your profits in less than 10 minutes a day. And if you call right now, you can test drive our amazing VectorVest system risk-free for 30 days for just $9.95.
800-584-2519. 800-584-2519. 800-584-2519. That's 800-584-2519.
This is America's Sports Talk Show, Sports Byline USA. Here's Ron Barr.
Mike Krzyzewski joins us on Sports Byline. Mike, 25 seasons as the Duke head coach, and he just recently got to the 700th level as far as victories, and a 12-time National Coach of the Year. And, of course, Duke has won 3 national championships with Mike. Mike, when you hit that 700 level, I know that you were kind of quiet and low-keyed about it, but in reflection, what did it mean to you personally?
Well, first of all, I've been coaching a long time, and Coach Knight called me the day after, and he says, you know what, the one thing that means, don't you? And I said, what's that, Coach? He says that means we're both pretty old. And I said, well, I think it means another thing, Coach. It means that we've had a chance to coach some really good players and some special teams. And he says, you're right about that. And when you reach a milestone like that, Ron, I think what happens is it gives a lot of people who are part of your unit, part of your team, a chance to think back on their time during those 700 wins. And as they call or they send congratulatory letters or emails to you, you think of a time with them. So, that's the best thing about it, is that you get a chance to remember a lot of great things and with special people.
You bring up a very interesting point. Bill Walsh and I are good friends, and I once asked him about the things he accomplished, and he said, the victories were nice. He said, but the players that played for me and the men that were assistant coaches and went on to become either head coaches or successful in the coaching rank is really what touches me. And Mike, I know you feel the same way about the men that have played for you or have been assistant coaches for you as well.
Yeah, there's no question about that, Ron. I mean, certainly in my own profession, to see what Tommy Amaker or Clint Snyder, Mike Bray, who's an assistant coach, Timmy O'Toole, these guys, what they're doing, and my current staff with Johnny Dawkins and Chris Collins and Steve Wojciechowski, to see them, go from players to coach, and then when they have their own programs, it's kind of like right now I have 4 grandkids. It's like having grandkids. You get a chance to live your life over again a little bit, and through these people, and and then also following them, what they do outside the game, because a lot of them end up being very successful in other walks of life.
The other person you acknowledged was former athletic director Tom Butters, who hired you, and it was very interesting because your first 3 seasons at Duke, nothing particularly stellar, 38 and 47, and your quote was, "Duke has always been there for me, and I'll always be there for Duke."
Well, Ron, I'm not sure in today's day and age, although I think it would still happen at Duke, or an institution like Duke that has a team commitment to what goes on and not just relies on a coach doing his job or her job. Tom Butters, gave me an opportunity when I was 32 years old, and I was the head coach at the United States Military Academy, and he said, "Look, we have some work to do here. I want it done up to the standards of Duke University." He says, "We do want to win, but I want to make sure that you understand what I mean by winning." And I said, "Well, I hope we're on the same page." He says, "I want to win on the court. There's no question about that. But I want each of the young men who play for you to graduate, get a Duke education, and be a successful part of our society." And he says, "As long as you're doing that, we don't, that'll be national championships for us. But if you could do real well in the other category, winning the games, that'll be great too." And they always had it in the proper perspective, and I never ever felt the pressure that I might be losing my job, and that team commitment has been maintained for the next 22 years, and we've won a lot of basketball games, and we've won 3 national titles, and we wouldn't have done that without a team commitment.
What is your perspective now that the landscape has changed in college basketball? It used to be, certainly, Mike, you'd go out and get a player, and you could develop him as a player and as a person and as an educated person over a 4-year period. But now, of course, you lost a couple of players after just a freshman year, and then even one player that never even made it to your campus that you had recruited. So from your personal coaching perspective, how do you approach the game today and all of the goals that you have for your players, not only from a basketball standpoint, but from a personal standpoint?
Well, since 1999, we've had more kids go early than any program by far, and just before that round, we had none. And so we went from like one culture to another culture. And what I decided to do is, I could not change the culture, but what I could do is still teach the values that we're trying to teach in this new culture. And if a youngster decides that he wanted to leave early and could not complete his education, I wanted to make sure that he was as far along towards getting a degree as possible. And I told each kid that we've recruited, I said, "You're still going to go to summer school. You're still going to be required to do everything, and we're going to go on a plan like it's going to be 4 years. If something extraordinary happens, and you get an opportunity, and you decide to enter the NBA draft, you will at least be as far ahead as you could possibly be. And then if you wanted to continue that, in the off season or after you get through playing, then we'll have a chance to complete the educational part of it." And I think it's gone well. We have a number. Mike Dunleavy came back and took 3 courses this year. Carlos Boozer's real close. He's coming back this summer. Jason Williams, of course, had already graduated. Luol Deng has looked into coming in for 2 semesters of summer school this summer. And I think these kids are doing that because along the way we weren't compromising anything. We said, "Look, we still want you to be well-rounded, but the current culture allows you to maybe go a little bit early."
How much of the timing factor of Luol Deng leaving after his freshman year and Sean Livingston never making it onto the campus factored into the offer from the Lakers and you deciding to even consider it?
I think more so it was a factor in me not taking it, more so than me considering it. I considered the Laker position, one, because it's a very prestigious position and an amazing franchise. And I just thought, Ron, I'm 57, that, okay, I'm going to coach for a while. I've done some really good things in college. Should I do something else? And I wasn't even looking at anything. I was just kind of asking myself that question. And the Lakers came in. And then all of a sudden, it escalated to where they made an amazing offer. And but really, the fact of losing those two kids and being a part of the people behind the scenes who are trying to take a look at our game and try to do something for our game, I've been in meetings with President Brands and the NCAA, and also I wouldn't leave Duke in that type of situation where, you look like you're running away from, boy, if Lou Wall and Sean had stayed, then I'm going to stay. And I didn't want that to enter into it at all. But, you have to adapt to what's going on. I'm at a great school. I love what I do. I love college coaching, and I love coaching it at Duke. And I wasn't looking to go, but when this offer came, I thought that it's something I should look at. And in looking at it, it was a great process, and it made me appreciate even more what I am doing.
It's interesting you bring that up, Mike, because the things that I said on the air about it and talking about it, and just knowing you as I do in our discussions over the years, I felt that it came along, and what it did was it pulled you back from the environment that you were in, and you had a chance to take a look at college basketball, take a look at Duke, take a look at yourself. And what you did was you made a reaffirming decision about what you were doing and how much you really liked it.
No, there's no question about that, Ron. And it's not like I was down about college coaching, but it's kind of like this past summer in June, my youngest daughter got married, and the day before she got married was my wife and I. It was our 35th wedding anniversary, and we renewed our vows. And every once in a while, it's good to recommit. And when you recommit, sometimes you find a new energy to go forward and do even better in an already good situation. So, that's what I'm looking to do.
And what is fun for you about basketball now?
Oh, for me, the interaction with the players is the most fun, and preparation for a game and locker room and just being with them. It keeps you young, and these kids are great. They work hard, and to me, to see them grow, confidence level-wise, or how they become close together as a unit, those things. And then if you're lucky enough to win a good number of games, that's fun too. But the interaction with the players is the most fun.
Mike, hold on just a second. We're talking to the fine Duke coach, Mike Krzyzewski, and we continue with that as we continue with more of you in Sports Byline.
Isaac, you missed the winning dunk and cost your team the championship. What are your thoughts?
Well, I switched to Boost Mobile and got a super fast network and 4 free Samsung Galaxy A20 phones, so even when we lose, I still win.
It was an easy, fast break, and no one was near you.
You know what's fast? Boost Mobile's super fast network.
They're calling your shot the greatest miss in history.
Boost Mobile's prices are never a miss. I even get 4 lines for $25 per line per month.
Oh, look at that. The fans are burning your jersey.
Yep, the fans get it. My Boost Mobile network is en fuego.
Switch to Boost Mobile and get 4 lines for $25 per line per month with unlimited data and 4 free Samsung Galaxy A20 phones, all on our super reliable, super fast network. Step up with Boost Mobile. New customers only. Limited time offer while supplies last. Requires 1 port from eligible carrier and activation. 1 free device per line. Customers who use more than 35 gigabytes of data during a billing cycle will be deprioritized during times of network congestion. Offers and coverage not available everywhere. See boostmobile.com or retailer for full details.
Attention homeowners. Do you have a house that's in need of serious repairs? Do you have tenants that never seem to make their monthly payments? How about code violations, past due taxes, or maintenance costs you just can't afford? Then call my friends right now at Quick Cash Offer. They specialize in buying any home, no matter how ugly the situation. Turn that problem property into cash right now. It's just that simple. One call and you can get rid of that home headache forever. They buy the ugliest houses with instant closings, instant cash, and huge savings. Plus, there are no realtor fees, no listing fees, and no repair costs. Just cash in your hands for that painful property. They're buying a few more houses in your neighborhood this month. So take advantage of this cash offer and call Quick Cash Offer now.
800-426-2301. 800-426-2301. That's 800-426-2301.
Do you love cats? Join me, Petra Luna, at Cat Crazy Channel on YouTube. Every Tuesday I host a new episode and we cover everything related to cats. Go to catcrazychannel.com and find out more. Why does your cat want to sleep on your head? Should you declaw your cat? Raise your cat IQ. At catcrazychannel.com we cover it all. And remember, cats rule.
It's time to play Vomit or No Vomit, brought to you by Nauzene.
Colin, it was a long night of shaking your shamrock, and now the corned beef and cabbage you ate is sloshing around sickeningly in a frothy sea of grain beer. Do you A, vomit, B, swallow the pink stuff, C, take fast-acting Nauzene?
I need Nauzene.
Correct. Nauzene's 4-minute formula quickly relieves stomach discomfort from overindulging.
Get Nauzene now in the purple box at Walmart or your favorite store.
This is America's Sports Talk Show, Sports Byline USA. Here's Ron Barr.
Mike Krzyzewski with us this hour on Sports Byline, 12 times the National Coach of the Year. One of the things that you and I have talked about before is that, and we just touched on it earlier, about players who have played for you and then gone on, even if they did not stay in sports, gone on to other things. And I know you have a former player for you who is over in Iraq right now, and you talked to him the other day. There is a sense of, I can't even describe it. What sense do you get about seeing players go on and do the type of things that we're talking about here?
Oh, it's like a father, seeing his son, do well. You get so close to these young men, and I'm not going to call him a youngster. He's not a youngster. He's in his 40s and he's a full colonel. His name's Bob Brown. Bob is the commanding officer of the Stryker Brigade in northern Iraq. He has approximately 6,000 men and women under his command, and before he went over to Iraq in October, he and I met here in Durham. We had supper and actually a long night together to talk about leadership, and he was so excited. I was trying to put myself in his position. I said, Bob, I'd be scared. He says, Coach, I'm not scared. He says, this is the most exciting time of my life. I'm able to lead, the best fighting force in the world. I have such good commanders under me, and my troops. We've worked so hard. We've trained for this time. We're anxious to go over. And I said, well, what motivates you? Is there any? Are you questioning anything? He says, Coach, we don't question anything. We're motivated, to stop terrorism and not to have. We do not want to fight this war or a war like this on American soil. We feel that it has to be stopped somewhere, and that's what motivates us. And we're anxious to go. And I talked to him last week. He called me the day after I won my 700th game. He says, Coach, congratulations on your 700. I said, what are you calling me for? I said, what are you? You're in Iraq. He says, Coach. He says, everything I learned at West Point as a cadet and in playing basketball for you, I put to use each day here in Iraq. And so to talk to you just rejuvenates me. I mean, it made me cry. Mm-hmm. And we talked about some things that we're trying to help them with, and he explained one of the most poignant things that we talked about, though, Ron. He says, Coach, I never ever realized how difficult it would be to lose a man.
Yep.
You know, like he said, he says we've done great. We've lost 8 men, and it rips your heart out. And that's why he set up different funds and different things and ways to help the families in anticipation of this. And we're trying to help them a little bit with those things. And I mean, it's just, I'm listening to him. I said, you know, God, Bob, you know, I am so lucky that I coached you. And he says, Coach, it's just the opposite. And I said, well, let's stop this mutual admiration society, and you get down to the business of what you're supposed to be doing, and just let me know what we can do to help. And actually emailed each other today, and he's doing great. He has his wife and 3 daughters back at Fort Lewis, Washington. His wife, Patty, has a job, but 80% of the stuff that she does during the day, she goes back to the brigade and is checking out what other families are doing. There's a sense of great community in our military. You know, it's not just the people on the front lines, it's the families, you know, back at home and how they unite. And we should be so darn appreciative of this as a country. Whether you're for or against the war policy, you have to be for the people implementing the policy, you know, for us. And you know, I wish there was some way that we could help these, you know, the families more and the troops there, and let them know just how much we appreciate what they're doing to, you know, for our freedom and for the freedom of people around the world.
You know, it's also, and I got this feeling and thought, Mike, that Bob probably took away from his playing experience with you the manner in which you created family and the way you kind of fostered support among players, that he has a 6,000-member team, if you know what I mean. That's what he's that's what he's coaching right now.
Right.
And I think that that's what you probably passed on to him. And I was going to ask you the question about the fact, since you were in the military yourself, how somebody deals with that loss on a very human basis. I mean, it's one thing to lose a game. It's another thing to lose a player to injury for the season. But to lose a member of your team whose life is gone, it's got to be gut-wrenching.
Well, and it's different than when you're back in the States and someone passes away because of a car accident or something like that. Those things happen in our lives, in our society. In combat, when you lose the life of a man or a woman, you're on a mission. You may have given the order on how to, to go in an attack or, a counter attack or whatever it might be, a certain mission that you are on. And so the men and women are implementing your plan. And during that, one of them or more would lose their lives. And there's just, I don't know. I don't know how you completely cope with that, except with a toughness and a sense of purpose that your team cannot have you just get immobilized by that, but that these other men and women need you to go forward. And therefore, it puts you in really, I think, the toughest leadership position, that the leadership situation that you could be in. And I think the ability to go on to the next play and then come back and making sure that families are taken care of, and and hopefully you've learned from what happened in that situation so that it might prevent the loss of future life.
I agree, and I hope we all remember that when it comes to supporting those who are supporting our country elsewhere. Mike, I was interested in a quote of yours. What I found was how popular the college game is. What did you mean by that? How popular do you think college basketball is today?
I think it's unbelievably popular, Ron. I think last week I went up to Madison Square Garden and with Miles Brand and Dave Gavitt, Jim Boeheim, Kelvin Sampson, Bob Bowlesby, the athletic director for Iowa and head of the NCAA basketball committee, and Jim Delaney, who's the Big Ten commissioner. Those are 7 of us who have been that's 7 of about 25 to 30 people who have been meeting privately about the game, our college game. And we went public with it to announce the college basketball partnership. And we think that the game is a national treasure, and that it's different than any other entity in that, we promote tradition, values, education, teamwork, all the things that you can find in every town, every school, in all of America. And what happens is that in the month of March and part of April, during March Madness, the whole country is united as a result of this great game. And we just think that in going forward, we need to get our arms around it as having all entities involved, TV, coaches, administrators, NCAA, print media, shoe companies, everybody who is around the game to join forces to make sure that we're taking care of it. And that's never been done. It's never been done in any sport in the NCAA. And so this was it was historical, what's happened in the last week, and our game deserves that.
One of the things that does concern me is just the financial aspect of college sports today. I think if you take a look at what's happened over on the college football side with the BCS and all the discussion about that, Mike, there seems to be a much more stable environment when it comes to college basketball than what we're seeing maybe in college football. Do you get that same sense as well?
Yeah, one of the reasons, college football is great. However, its championship is run outside the NCAA umbrella. All that money that's generated does not go back into the NCAA. The NCAA is I think it's anywhere from I think it's close to 95%, but it's over 90% of its budget, and that's to fund all sports for all kids in college, and their championships is funded by men's college basketball. It's the cash cow, so to speak, and football is its own entity unto itself. And there's no NCAA championship that is run like football. Every NCAA championship has some type of tournament or a progression where you eventually come up with the champion, and it's not done by computer and stuff like that. And so I don't know if football will ever be brought under that umbrella, but I think as long as it's out there, it's not like the NCAA isn't involved, but they don't control the money that's involved. And if you don't control the money, then you don't have the power, to do what's necessary.
I thought it was very interesting, something that I read about President Miles Brand of the NCAA. The NCAA's next crusade apparently will be to address what Brand calls a dangerous drift toward professionalism in sports entertainment. He's spending enormous amounts of money to achieve athletic success, and this is his quote, distorting the mission of higher education. This escalation of success demanding even more success has good people with noble intentions chasing both the carrot and their tails. Part of the problem stems from the mistaken belief that there's a correlation between success on the field and the amount of money spent by the university, a myth that won't die, and he called college sports the original reality TV. That's pretty hard-hitting, Mike.
Well, I think, President Brand is terrific, and I think, he has a way, Ron, of looking at the total picture. We've worked very closely with him the last year and a half as an organization with the National Association of Basketball Coaches, but also just individually I have. And I found him to be someone who looks at the big picture, and he's willing to listen to a lot of people before, making a decision. It doesn't have to be his idea. And that really is how this college basketball partnership started. He felt that college basketball is moving along and making a lot of money, but no one's in control. And so, for the last year, we've been meeting privately, all these entities, to discuss the game. And now we have a better feel for how each of us perceives it from our own point of view, our own position. And I think then, we'll be able to go forward and help in moving the game in the right direction. As far as total college sports, you have to always be concerned about the money that's being spent. But also there's a lot of money being brought in. As long as we don't sacrifice the values that are inherent in a collegiate education and what the youngsters playing the sports get from a school, I mean, that overall is paramount to the mission. And, we'll see where it goes. But, those are, I think his statements are appropriate. Now what action is taken as a result of that, I think will be a point of discussion. And, that's how you move forward.
Mike, I want to thank you very much. Our friendship is one that I cherish, and I love the way you talk about the things that are important in life as well as in basketball. Take care, my friend, and I'll keep in touch with you.
All right. Thank you, Ron.
Mike Krzyzewski, the fine coach at Duke University, over 700 career victories now, the second fastest man to reach that mark. We'll take a quick break as we continue across the country and around the world with you on America's Sports Talk Show.
Remember in the beginning, when you first started to build a life for you and your family, you never imagined it would come to this. Instead of living your dreams, you're living with debt. In fact, it's smothering you. Now there's a way you can take back control with one simple call. If you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt, you qualify to receive a free, no-obligation consultation on how to get rid of that debt for good. Call the Debt Helpline now. We work on your behalf to reduce your debt. We specialize in credit cards, retail store cards, and medical bills. One simple call is all it takes to get the ball rolling to a debt-free life. Stop living with debt and start living your dreams. Call the Debt Helpline now.
800-957-6063. 800-957-6063. 800-957-6063. That's 800-957-6063.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Clapper, Chief of Orthopedic Surgery at Cedars-Sinai Medical Group in Los Angeles, California. Dedicated to your health, your life, and your sports. As a weekend warrior, you know about sports injuries and pain. Exercise is an important element in keeping your body's core in good shape to minimize sports injuries. But when you are in pain, there is one product that I recommend to my patients, and that is Blue Goo Gel. Blue Goo consists of a proprietary formula developed specifically for the treatment of inflammation and general muscle aches and strains. I recommend Blue Goo for my patients coping with hip and knee pain before surgery, especially bursitis and tendinitis. Give Blue Goo a try. Call 1-888-330-0123 and you'll receive a 1-week supply of Blue Goo absolutely free. The makers of Blue Goo are even paying the shipping. The number again is 1-888-330-0123. If you want more information on Blue Goo, visit online at www.dothegoo.com.
Now available at select Big 5 stores near you.
Not too long ago, it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank, didn't it? For a vacation or a new car. But today, withdrawing your own cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free. Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But the secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Pick up your phone and call right now. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. Once again, that's 800-932-5517.
This is America's Sports Talk Show, Sports Byline USA. Here's Ron Barr.
That's going to wrap up this hour of Sports Byline. I shared with you an interview out of our library with Mike Krzyzewski. This was after he had won 3 NCAA championships as the head coach at Duke, and of course had won 700 games, and now he is the winningest coach in Division I men's basketball history. Also coached the U.S. national team to the 2008, 2012, and 2016 Olympic gold medals, and also won 2 World Basketball Championships. And Scott Brocious joined us, former Major League Baseball third baseman with the A's and also the New York Yankees for 10-plus seasons. He also won 3 World Series with the Yankees, and he was the 1998 World Series MVP. He's now got a new baseball job. He is the manager of Team USA in baseball for the upcoming Olympics. I'm Ron Barr. Hang around. We've got more coming your way on Sports Byline.
Hi, everybody. I'm Fred Wallen. Please join us for Sports Overnight America right here on Sports Byline and sportsbyline.com. We'll talk about anything and everything in the wonderful and wacky world of sports. Join me, Fred Wallen, 10 p.m. Pacific Time, every Friday evening.
You're listening to the Sports Byline USA Broadcast Network.
You're listening to the Heartland Newsfeed Radio Network, broadcasting live 24/7 at heartlandnewsfeed.com.
This stream is supported by advertisers and contributions by you.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,675, silver at $17.35, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,122. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, Operation Palladium has begun. Hundreds of agents from Immigration and Customs Enforcement have entered New York and other sanctuary cities in a fresh attempt to round up undocumented immigrants. Mid-Press News reports the directive, according to officials, is simple. Arrest as many undocumented immigrants as possible and flood the streets with officers. Beginning a 24/7 surveillance and detention program, ICE leadership has requested over 500 special agents who normally work fighting trafficking and organized crime to bolster the agency's numbers. That follows an earlier decision to deploy immigration SWAT teams to round up undocumented immigrants in sanctuary cities. New York Times reporter Annie Carrill shared a viral image taken through a peephole of a Bronx apartment, showing an ICE agent brandishing an assault weapon and demanding to enter. Carrill claims that the officers were going door to door, threatening to force their way in, and residents said they did not present a warrant, both breaches of the law. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. News of the coronavirus and the resulting potentially deadly disease spreading throughout the United States and across the world continues to develop rapidly. The Mind Unleash reports that according to a map managed by Johns Hopkins, there are now over 101,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19 and nearly 3,500 deaths worldwide. The CDC, meanwhile, is reportedly refusing to test a nurse with symptoms that volunteered to assist with COVID-19 patients at a California hospital. According to a letter posted on Twitter by Dr. Eric Feigl-Ding, the CDC claims that she cannot be tested because she was properly protected during her time volunteering. Meanwhile, Dr. Feigl-Ding said that 22 million Californians are now eligible for free medically necessary COVID-19 testing. However, there may still be a discrepancy when it comes to deciding which situations warrant testing and which ones don't. As coronavirus panic hits the United States, a financial lobbying group is attempting to use the crisis to push through the deregulation of its industry. Mid-Press News reports the Bank Policy Institute, a Washington-based lobbying organization representing many of the nation's largest banks, released a set of proposals this week, the most important of which recommends that the Federal Reserve lower capital requirements to zero. That would mean banks could lend an unlimited amount without having any assets or wealth to back it up. It also advocated relaxing the so-called stress tests that force banks to show that they can withstand economic shocks. This, it claims, would help America fight the COVID-19 virus. The report's lead author was BPI CEO Greg Baer, former managing director of J.P. Morgan Chase. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Favorite sports anywhere, anytime with you. And we even give you free installation and free premium movie channels. Don't wait. Call National Programming Service right now. You could be up and running and watching your favorite sports and shows in just a few hours. Remember, call in the next 10 minutes and ask about our special radio offer and learn about free installation. Call right now.
800-470-7113. 800-470-7113. 800-470-7113. That's 800-470-7113.
Live, worldwide, Sports Byline USA. And here's host, Ron Barr.
And wherever you might be across this great country of ours and around the world, I'm Ron Barr. Good to have you with us for another edition of Sports Byline, where we're going to be talking football with Ricky Watters, NFL running back who played 11 seasons in the league with the 49ers, Philadelphia, and Seattle. He rushed for more than 10,000 yards, including 6 seasons of 1,000 yards or more. And with the Eagles in 96, he had more than 1,400 yards rushing. He was drafted in the second round out of Notre Dame, where he played on a national championship team there. Grew up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And another interesting aspect of his life, he was adopted. And I mentioned about him playing on that national championship team at Notre Dame. That was in 1988. He was recruited by Lou Holtz, and he played with Tony Rice and Tim Brown at Notre Dame. A very interesting guy. So we'll talk football with Ricky Watters. By the way, check out the award-winning Sports Byline USA website. We have a lot of neat things on there. If you're wondering where we are on what radio stations across the country, just go to the website at sportsbyline.com. We have a tab there. It says affiliates. You can find us there, of course. Aside from the 200 stations in the U.S., we have the 500 stations in 177 countries on the American Forces Network. You can listen to us on Sirius XM satellite radio, Also, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, TuneIn, CRN Digital as well. So we're just about anywhere you are, you can find Sports Byline. And not only my show, but also don't forget about the other great shows, because if you happen to be somebody that loves automotive racing, just check out the Speed Freaks. Of course, we have the Wrestling Observer Live show, which is not only on Sunday night with Brian Alvarez, but you can catch it during the week, Monday through Friday here on Sports Byline. And if you're into video games, be sure to check out Rick Tittle on Sunday nights on the Sports Byline Network as well. And while you're there, remember, if you'd like to email me with a suggestion for a guest or for a show, or if you've got a complaint about something, buck stops right here. All you have to do is email me at rbarr, and it's B-A-R-R, at sportsbyline.com, and that's B-Y-L-I-N-E. So it's rbarr at sportsbyline.com. And check out some of the other features on the Sports Byline Network as well. We have some of the great interviews that we've had, not only on this show, but on other shows as well. They're posted on the website. Also, if you're into sports medicine and want to know something about a pain that you might have or how to prevent an injury when you're competing, check that out as well. I'm Ron Barr. We continue with more of you and Sports Byline.
Don't go out to eat. Go out to Ida at Chili's. Chicken or shrimp fajitas are now on 3 for $10. So hear that chicken sizzle.
Ooh, yummy.
Or that shrimp sizzle.
They sound so similar.
People laughing and having fun. Hey, Gary, maybe take it down a notch? It's a bit much.
Sorry.
Just kidding, Gary. Live your truth. Go out to Ida at Chili's for 3 for $10. That's a starter, fajita, and Coke, all for $10. Together, we Chili's. At participating restaurants only. Price may vary in Hawaii.
A little story about Boost Mobile. Davis, I am feeling pain.
What, your dog died? Your girlfriend left you?
No. The pain I'm feeling is having an old smartphone.
Mm-hmm. That's why I switched to Boost Mobile and got 4 free phones for $25 per line.
Well, I didn't. Without Boost Mobile, I got an old phone. It makes my life sad. I feel so alone. I'm switching to Boost, getting 4 phones for free. Yeah, Samsung Galaxies for my whole family.
Switch to Boost Mobile and get 4 lines for $25 per line per month with unlimited data and 4 free Samsung Galaxy A20 phones, all on our super reliable, super fast network. Step up with Boost Mobile. New customers only. Limited time offer while supplies last. Requires 1 port from eligible carrier and activation. 1 free device per line. Customers who use more than 35 gigabytes of data during a billing cycle will be deprioritized during times of network congestion. Offers and coverage not available everywhere. See boostmobile.com or retailer for full details.
The great thing about facts, they're proven. Like the fact that crude oil contains impurities. Or that base oil made from natural gas is 99.5% free of impurities. And the fact that Pennzoil is the first synthetic motor oil made from natural gas, not crude oil. It gives you unbeatable engine protection. The proof is in the Pennzoil. Based on Sequence 4A wear test using SAE 5W30. Find it at Firestone Complete Auto Care.
Hey, so are you the type of guy that wants to look put together, but doesn't want to spend hours at the mall finding new clothes? So you can look great at the office, on the road, or even just on the weekend with friends and family? I hear you. This is why there's Stitch Fix, your personal styling service that delivers hand-picked clothes right to you. Stitch Fix is simple. Sign up in just a few minutes. Tell them about the brands that work for you, and even let them know what types of styles you prefer. Stitch Fix is convenient. You get great clothes delivered right to you, so you can try new styles on in the comfort of your own home and make a decision without any pressure. And Stitch Fix is on your terms and priced to match your budget. There's no subscription required ever. Keep what you want and send back anything you don't. So, isn't it time you got it all together? Get started today at StitchFix.com. Stitch Fix, personal styling for men, women, and kids. Stitch Fix, personal styling for everybody.
This is America's Sports Talk Show, Sports Byline USA. Here's Ron Barr.
Ricky Watters joins us on Sports Byline, the former NFL running back who played 11 seasons with the 49ers, Philadelphia, and Seattle, and he rushed for more than 10,000 yards in his career, including 6 seasons of 1,000 yards or more. And with the Eagles in 96, he had more than 1,400 yards rushing one season. He was drafted in the 2nd round out of Notre Dame by the 49ers, made 5 Pro Bowl teams, and he grew up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I know you're adopted.
Yes.
And that's a dynamic that most people can't relate to unless you happen to be adopted. Tell me the circumstances about that and how it affected your early life.
Well, I didn't know about it earlier. It was actually one of those things. I was adopted as a baby, which was great, But as I moved along, I didn't really know I was adopted, and I kind of found out about it the worst way you can. I mean, it was really a bad thing. I was on a basketball court, and there was a guy there, and he's an older guy, and he was, not the nicest guy. So he's kind of like just saying things to me, and he says, "Wait a minute, isn't your sister's name Rhonda?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's my sister." And he's like, "No, that's my sister." So I'm like, "Come on, man, go ahead, whatever." He's like, "Man, look at me, look at you, look," because she's lighter skinned than I am, and he was lighter skinned, and he was like, "She looks like me, that's my sister. That's not your sister." So I'm freaking out, go home and everything, and talk to my dad. My dad's a tough guy too that people didn't want to mess with. So I'm like, "Ooh, he's gonna go tell this guy off, or something's gonna happen, But then that's how I kind of found out that I was adopted. So that was just a tough way of finding out. Back then it was kind of different. I mean, I don't know. Now, like I said, I was adopted. My son was adopted as well. From day one, we told him that he's adopted, and so he can understand and not have to feel like it means anything bad or anything like that. For me, it was kind of tough at that time, and made me feel like I had to prove myself.
How old were you?
I think I was around 7 at that time, probably 7 or 8. So still young and really, impressionable at that time. So,
what message did your dad and your mom give you?
Oh, that they love me. That didn't matter. Obviously they feel like they're my parents, and it's not anything to be alarmed about. And I was, telling them, of course I'm not alarmed, but kind of shocking, it's kind of shocking, and just want to know, what the deal is. Like you said, what is the deal? So,
how long did it take you to assimilate the information and feel comfortable with it?
That I don't remember exactly, but I don't know if I ever was, especially in my younger days, because when I look back on it now, obviously when I was going through it, I didn't really understand what was happening to me. But now when I look back, I understand why I had to be number one in everything. I had to be the best at everything. I had to be the best in school. I wanted to win everything. I don't care if it was a spelling bee contest, if it was a math bee, whatever it is, I want to win, and I want to be the best. I want to have the best looking girlfriend, best everything, cars, everything as I got older. And so I think that I now understand that that's where is coming from, was just kind of wanting people to accept me and to see that I belong, or I should be.
At what age did football come into your life then?
And around that time is when football really came into my life. About 8 years old, I started playing. And
did that fuel the passion for the game a little bit when you found out you had been adopted and you were trying to figure it all out?
Yep, but I think it was something that was happening even before I got into organized sports, because I was playing in the sand lot. I was playing with guys that were older than me. Always had guys older than me that were around me. I think it made me tougher too, and made me excel kind of quicker and earlier. And I just think that I was always out there trying to show them, and they would knock the wind out of me, all kind of stuff. I'd come back crying, whatever. My dad was real, like I said, he was really tough. So he's like, "Man, you go out there and you hold your own, and you'll be fine," and all these things. But I think it helped fuel me, actually.
Yeah, let me ask you a little bit about Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, because it is Pennsylvania, and I spent some time in West Virginia, and I know the steel mentality in a sense.
Yeah.
But what was the city like?
Yeah, it was like that blue collar. It's hard working people. It's small though, considering that it's the capital. It's the capital of Pennsylvania. A lot of people don't know that. They're like, "What? It's not Philly. It's not Pittsburgh. I mean, why Harrisburg?" And I think that it made us have a chip. Most of the people I grew up with, they kind of had a little chip on their shoulder about things. It's always New York. It's always Philadelphia. It's always Pittsburgh. It's always someone else and not us. So even the players there, like myself and LaShawn McCoy, another player that came from there. We went to the same high school with Bishop McDevitt. And you kind of have a chip on your shoulder. You want to prove yourself, and you want to prove that you can make it, because a lot of the people there would say things like to me, and they would say it to him too, because, I know him, and that you're not going to make it. Or, no one else made it out of here. What's going to make you any different? It was always like something's going to happen to you, because we had some great players that came before us that didn't make it because of whatever reason. They got in trouble or, different things happened to them that derailed them. So I know for me, I really wanted to prove that I was going to make, that I could make it and I could be successful.
Let me ask you about the pipeline to Notre Dame. How did you end up at Notre Dame? Now, I know you went to a Catholic high school. Was that the automatic pipeline to it? Was there no doubt that you were going to, because you were an outstanding ball player, end up at Notre Dame?
I thought there was doubt because my parents told me, we brought you up, we raised you, we know that you are going to make the right decision. And then it turned into, we're not going to let you make the wrong decision. You're going to Notre Dame, buddy. I went to Catholic school my whole life, and I was going to Notre Dame. I didn't realize it at first when I was courting all these teams, and it was just so exciting, all these great coaches coming into my living room, Paterno and Bo Schembechler and all these amazing coaches. I could have went to any of those teams and just been so happy. So it wasn't like my head was swimming, and I think they realized that. And they said, well, we're going to help you narrow it down to Notre Dame.
Okay, I got to ask you the obvious question. Your first impression of Lou Holtz when you met him.
Oh, he's so articulate, so smooth and refined that you're going to be impressed with him. I was impressed. My parents were impressed. Everyone who had a chance to talk to him was impressed. And my coaches in high school were impressed. My head coach, Coach Renfeld, who I love, it was just like such a great mentor for me. He thought that it would be a great fit for me as well.
I got to ask you also another question. I have talked to other Notre Dame ball players and others that played for Lou Holtz, and they all told me there was always somebody on the team that could mimic Lou Holtz.
Oh, you have to be able to do Lou Holtz.
Tim Brown, Tim Brown told me some great stories about that. But tell me somebody and what they would do with him as a coach behind his back a little bit.
Well, I can tell you, there are a lot of guys that could do him very well. One of the best, though, he passed away. Andre Jones played with me as a linebacker. Great player, great personality. And he would talk like him. And I swear, if you were not looking at him and you were looking away, you would think, Coach just walked in there. He'll scare you. Hey, guys, what are you doing? Whatever. And be like, we all scared. And, he had the list down and everything. I mean, he was better than I am. And guys would always joke him behind his back because I swear, for him to be, 140 pounds or something soaking wet, you were very afraid of him because he demanded your respect. He's one of those guys that when he comes out there, he has his pipe in, he's hitting that pipe in his hat, and when he starts to walk across there, that is serious now. Let's get ready for practice and get it done.
I don't think I know a coach who has as many one-liners as he does. Motivating one-liners, Yeah. He told me one time about a ball player that was not playing particularly well in the NFL that had been very good for him. And he said, I called him. He said, by the way, so-and-so, he says, did somebody steal your uniform? And he said, what do you mean? He said, well, I saw him on Sunday, did not look like you, and hung up on him. But what was his pregame halftime speeches like?
Oh, amazing. Amazing. I mean, he can make you run through a brick wall. I'm telling you, man, one of the ones that I definitely remember is when we were playing against Miami, the Hurricanes, and that's the big showdown every time we play them every year. And he just said, Jimmy Johnson, they're talking about Jimmy Johnson, this and that, and their team and all this and that. He said, I tell you what, you don't take a back seat to anybody. He said, because you're going to look out there and you're going to see me on the 50-yard line, and you're going to see I'm going to be kicking his butt. So he was like, I'm ready to fight. And it just got us so fired up. But he said it his way. And it was just awesome for him to say something like that, like he's ready to fight. He's ready to go out there and play. And he hoped that we're ready to play. And so he just knows what to say at the right time to get you motivated. And there was many times that he'd kick us off the field. There were times that he'll start practice all over again. We'd be halfway through practice. Okay, we're going all the way back to the first period. If that's what he thinks we need to do, and of course we'd be like, oh, coach, no, please, whatever. No, I'm not playing. No. He'd get after you, whatever, and you'll have a perfect practice after that. If you weren't quite into it, I guarantee you'll be into it after that.
Ricky Waters is with us in the studio. We're talking about not only his outstanding college career, which resulted in a national championship. We'll talk about that season in just a moment, some of the players he played with at Notre Dame, and then we'll transition into his final 11-season career in the National Football League with the 49ers, Philadelphia, and Seattle. And as I pointed out, he is a member of the 10,000-yard rushing team, and he had 6 straight seasons of rushing for more than 1,000 yards. I remember with the 49ers, he had that high stepping gait as he ran toward the end zone, and he was a hell of a receiver as well. We continue on Sports Byline.
Are you an active stock market investor? Well, then you know these 3 key words: buy, sell, hold. Those 3 magic words can make or lose you money in the stock market. What if we can show you a time-tested tool that's been helping stock market investors succeed for over 30 years? It's called VectorVest, an amazing system designed to make smart investing easy. The VectorVest system analyzes, sorts, and ranks over 19,000 stocks every day and tells you when to buy, what to buy, and when to sell any stock to maximize your profits in less than 10 minutes a day. And if you call right now, you can test drive our amazing VectorVest system risk-free for 30 days for just $9.95.
800-584-2519. 800-584-2519. 800-584-2519. That's 800-584-2519. It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. Call right now. That number is 800-485-6003.
If you or a loved one is suffering from a physical or emotional condition that has left you unable to work, then listen carefully. Take this number down. 800-593-7491. That's 800-593-7491. When you call, you'll speak with a Social Security disability expert and get a free evaluation to see if you may qualify for disability insurance benefits from the U.S. government. That's right, a monthly cash payment paid directly to you from the Social Security Administration. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied disability benefits, call now. The disability attorneys at Pinnacle Disability can help you build your case, file an appeal, and represent you at no upfront cost to you. Don't wait another minute to see if you may qualify for your Social Security disability benefits. Call Pinnacle Disability Group at 800-593-7491 for your free case evaluation. That's 800-593-7491. 800-593-7491. Call now.
This is America's Sports Talk Show, Sports Byline USA. Here's Ron Barr.
Ricky Waters has joined us here on Sports Byline. We're talking about his career and about his life as well. I mentioned about the season in which you all won the national championship. That was 1988.
Yes.
And that team, as I watched them during that course of the season, I did not see a weakness in that team. As a player, how would you evaluate that national championship team?
Oh, my God. Obviously, I'm a bit biased. But, I mean, I think that I have been blessed to play on, to me, 2 of the best teams ever on the level. Playing with the 49ers, that 94 team, I feel like we could play with any team in any era, and we would hold our own. I feel the same way about that team that we had in Notre Dame. Our second team players could start on other teams. We just had a very deep group. We loved each other. We played for each other. We really cared about each other. It was just a fun time for me. And the crazy thing about it, we're still best friends to this day. If I go down to Dallas, Texas, or whatever, I already know I can go see Rocket Ishmael. I know I can stay with him. I know I can see Tim Brown. I know those guys will open the door for me in open arms. And the same thing if they come to my town, there are guys in Chicago that is like that. Pat Terrell, that's who I'm going to go stay with when I go there. And Tony Rice, we're still good friends to this day. So we had something that was very special. We cared about each other. We loved playing together. We loved hanging with each other. We spent a lot of time with each other. And I think that that's what made us so great. And we had, from top to bottom, we had a coach that really cares and really wanted to win. And all the way down, everyone was engaged in that way.
What was the year that you got transferred from receiver to running back?
That was my sophomore year.
You went there as a wide receiver to begin with?
No, as a running back.
As a running back?
Well, I thought as a running back. But I played quarterback, I played running back, I played wide receiver. So that's what made me so valuable to the colleges that were looking at me.
Did you always have such good hands?
Yes, but I also believe that working as a receiver at Notre Dame definitely helped me with the 49ers when I got there and on to the Eagles and Seahawks.
After winning the national championship in 88, 89, everybody thought you would repeat as national championship. It didn't work out that way. When you think back on that season, and especially at the end of it, do you still shake your head a little bit, Ricky?
Yeah, it's tough because we were always in it, and we were always right there. And then especially when you go and we win the Orange Bowl, and we beat Colorado, but then because we lost to Miami earlier, they gave it to Miami. So that was tough for us. I swear it was like 3 years in a row we could have won it. We're like right there. And then we lost to Colorado also in the Orange Bowl. So that's when Colorado was a tough team back then. They had really good players. But I just think that we were right there. We were right there, and I look back and I say, God, besides our first year, we lost maybe 3 games in 3 years. So I think we had a great team.
Let me ask you, picked in the second round by the 49ers. What did you know about that organization?
All I knew was on all the buildings at Notre Dame, I saw DeBartolo all the time. I didn't know what that meant until I got there. It meant excellence. It meant a great organization that I'm still proud that I played for. And the fact that they drafted me and I was able to go there and play, you don't all the way understand that when it's happening. When I was playing, it was just awesome to be a part of that and to play on a great team like that.
You're the perfect person to ask this because people heard how good Eddie was to his players, what the organization was like and everything. Mm-hmm. But, hearing those words and not knowing what it feels like, somebody that lived it like you did and everybody, tell everybody what that was really all about, what it felt like to be a player in an organization like that.
It was amazing because from top to bottom, everyone had the same mentality, and that was to win and to be the best and to carry yourself in a certain way as a professional. So it was just great to be around that and to see that and to see an owner who's engaged. He was engaged, and not in a way that he was too much in it and he was like calling all the shots or telling everybody what to do. It wasn't like that, but he was there and made you feel like it was family. It was definitely more of a family atmosphere than any other place that I played.
I've always thought that the expectation that Eddie put on his coaches, put on Bill Walsh, put on George Seifert, put on his players was probably pretty good because players are used to expectations. They're used to being, yelled at maybe to some degree. And if you're paying top dollar, you want to see top performance in return. Did that ever bother you or the players?
Oh, no. I actually, no one could put more on me than I put on myself. So I always wanted to be the best and wanted to just score 3 touchdowns on every drive if it was some way of doing it. So, I stayed motivated. The greatest thing was we had a lot of leadership on that team and a lot of guys that showed me the way and showed me how to be a professional. So, like I said, it wasn't just the owners. It wasn't just the coaches. It was all the way down from the top to the bottom. Everyone was focused. We would go into meeting rooms and people were fired up to watch film. And they're telling you what you're supposed to watch, and you understand what you're doing, and it's fun. Guys are getting pumped up, rolling up their sleeves to go in that weight room. Jerry Rice is just as pumped up as anyone else to go in there and lift weights because it was serious to us. We realized what we had to do, and I learned from those guys. They showed me the way.
When I think back on those Super Bowl championship teams, the first 3 that I was very close to, and then the other 2 as well, And I think about Jerry Rice, and I think about Ronnie Lott, and I think about Roger Craig. All of them come to mind. You come to mind.
And they've all helped me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, everybody was like a mentor to somebody. And I've said this before, but when it comes to discipline, when it comes to kind of motivation to some degree, the great thing about the 49er organization was it did not necessarily come from